And Odin. Yeah. And Odin.
Hello, hello. I think we're live. Oh, let's fix that. Right. A lot of people ready and waiting to see what we're doing. We're playing Total Annihilation in Spring Commander. There's a mod, SCTA. That's what we're going to be playing. It's going to be, well, I'm not going to be playing. I'm going to be casting. And it's going to be F-Odin and Swkoll, and they're going to be playing against each other. And yes, we're going to just kind of show off the mod, and I'm going to be casting with Postal, who's a caster of old Total Annihilation games. What's up, Icy, Saf, Mr. K, Happy New Year, guys. Alright, so I'm in Discord with them right now, so I'm gonna just unmute now for a sec and listen to what they're saying.
I mean, I've reworked it since then, and I've done a little bit with Funkoff as well. So I mean, it's in a better place than it was. So if you guys want to do it, feel free.
Alright.
Only reason I didn't want to do 20 by 20 was because that's why.
So what's up first?
Loki will be the first map regardless.
Cool. And
Loki Fast version, obviously.
is that a TA map, or is there a TA?
No.
Alright, okay.
No. It's actually a StarCraft map.
Oh, alright, okay. I didn't know.
But one of the guys who made it is one of my contacts from TAU. I was gonna actually try to see if I could get him by here. Well, he didn't make it. He was a playtester for the guy who made it.
All right. So
his name is Timmy.
So who's hosting?
We host not a Phantom game this time.
Are we live at this point?
Yeah. My.
No. Hello everyone.
This is Postal. Postal of Total Annihilation replays.
I'll say something in the chat here.
Okay. I did in fact host the Phantom game, by the way, guys. Come check. I did not hosting a Phantom game this time.
Yeah.
Would be good. I think Swkoll will be the Phantom. Just a hint.
So I know Swkoll's played this before. Have you played it, F-Odin?
A fair bit.
Oh yeah.
He's one of my playtesters.
Yeah, I helped out quite a while ago with the early balance.
All right.
And then sort of, unfortunately, got a little bit busy. But now, yeah, let's come back.
Cool.
Yeah.
So enough to play it. I could probably play either core or arm, but I'm probably more comfortable playing SOCOM.
You need to pick one, and you need to pick the correct one.
Yes, cool.
Oh, a wise choice.
Nice.
So yeah, the game 1 plan will be Odin, you're gonna be on Subcom, Swkoll will be on TA. Game 2 we will switch. Then game 3 will be a map of Jagged's choice. And then game 4 or 5, depending on how we feel, you guys each choose the map, and we'll, maybe do one TA with the TA game. Cool?
Yeah, sounds fine by me.
Okay.
Yep.
This is not Phantom this time.
An improvement for sure.
Okay, good luck everyone. We all ready?
Yep.
Okay,
I am.
observers are on. Checking this.
Oh wait, so will we be
So-
casting with these guys with F-Odin and Swkoll in the channel?
We can hop out. Yeah, we can hop out. If you
Okay,
want.
yeah.
We don't want to give too much info away, you know.
You don't want to give me info, Dragun?
Oh, I'm
Nope. Definitely
Oh.
not.
I'm disappointed.
Should we
You're the favorite here.
channel above? Should we just talk to each other about
Yeah.
what's happening with Swkoll?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I can
why
bring you
not?
if you want me to.
Odin.
Let's see. Alright, Foden Seraphim. And Swkoll is core?
That is
That is the arm commander. He has chosen poorly.
Yeah.
He is going bot
I always
first
tell
right
difference
there.
between who has the. Now, for those who don't know, faction selection in this mod is handled via something I call the drop pod. Did I just desync?
Right. Desync? I didn't see any
Um,
desync.
No, not desync. Lose connection.
You're
no.
still here in the Discord. So
Oh, my ping
You're-
is dying to you guys. So I'm gonna leave the game.
Okay. Yeah, your ping is spiking a lot.
So I'll leave the game. I'll have to rely on you and Postal.
Okay. Well, you can check my stream because I have really low latency on the stream, so.
Yeah.
now, for those who haven't played Total Annihilation, the build order that you're looking here that Swkoll is starting with wouldn't be considered a normal OTA build. Typically, you drop your energy first just so you don't excess any metal, and then you start capping your metal extractors first before you drop your factory. Usually 1 to 3, depending on how slow you want to start, how much resources you want in the bank relative to how fast you want to attack.
This is one of the things I've had to change for the SCTA balance mod for obvious reasons.
Yeah, this seems like pretty. This is just a normal Spring Commander build right now. Also, Swkoll's going for solar collectors. I was wondering because the wind seems way more efficient in terms of
It is.
mass.
That's deliberate.
And also,
So the thing-
it fluctuates kind of randomly from around like 20 up to 35 in terms of how much power it generates.
Yeah, it averages 25 energy a second. So the thing was, the way I balanced the wind and for the solars is the solars cost a lot less mass to initially make, or not more. They cost a lot more energy, a lot more mass, and a lot less energy. So when you're opening build orders, you want to build solars, but after the first 4 or 5 solars you build, you want to build wind.
All right, okay.
That was how I made it. So you want to build both types of power generators.
Yeah, I was thinking they're quite different because, yeah, you need lots more mass for the solar, but you need way less power. So,
Yeah.
that, I mean, you can actually change it up if you're really struggling for power. You might
Yeah.
go back and make some solars.
Yeah, that you possibly could, yeah. So the other thing to note is, not sure if you noticed this, Dragon, when you were playing, when doing the test mod earlier, but you start with a lot less storage between them. That because in OTA you only started with 1k mass, 1k energy storage.
Hmm.
Factories are also more expensive back then too.
Right.
And so one of the things I did in balance is you start with 1250 mass and 2500 energy as core versus as armor core. So that's one of the things to keep in mind. And that's what would be what that would roughly be would be something like a a striker or a mantis.
Right.
Now for us,
Typically it's based You go first.
so it looks like Swkoll is going for a relatively early K-bot lab there, T2.
Yeah.
Wait, so does he have a K-bot lab and then there's a vehicle
Yes.
factory also?
Correct. The way one of the things that were balanced with OTA with the OTA factions and map. So as Postal can explain this better than I can, there are two types of land factories in OTA. Well, technically three, but I'm not going to talk about hover right now.
Yeah, there's two. There's your K-bot and your vehicle. And in OTA, K-bot, usually you wouldn't go at first. You typically go vehicle because the construction vehicles are better at expanding. But K-bot offered some heavier hitting options for base busting, and so it wasn't uncommon to see K-bots used as well. The exception was you go K-bots first if you wanted to rush with Pee-wees, which would be a cheese way of beating someone.
Right.
Pee-wees are literally labs.
Okay.
For context.
Swkoll, you're wasting your units.
Now,
Fix that rally point.
oh yeah, he is, isn't he? Now, warriors in OTA, they're pretty strong, although they weren't used primarily because there were better units that came out of the K-bot lab, but I believe that's been worked on here. I don't know exactly what their equivalent would be in Supreme Commander, so I'll have to rely on you, Jacob.
I based them on the Mantis. Which is, Mantis is the sidewind version of the basic combat tank.
Hmm.
And that's what I based the warrior on.
I gotta say, things aren't looking good for Swkoll right now.
Yeah, I mean, well, he has the tech. I'm wondering, like, is this... No, that's a T1.
An OTA.
Swkoll...
Yes, that is a...
He's just making T1 out of his T2 factory, though, right? Am I wrong?
Is he?
Yeah, it's showing warriors coming out of the factory. So now the T2 factory, in my understanding in SCTA, it can still produce the T1 units.
You should probably produce the T2 though, right?
Yeah, he actually needs to produce the cons, is what he needs.
Oh really? Needs the cons?
I think he'll need some, because you can't...
Sorry.
Yeah, he's going to want that. Typically, in OTA at least, whenever you go, your advanced, that's one of the first things you put out because you want the advanced radar, although I think here, advanced radar has a huge energy draw, so...
Yeah. It has 150.
Yeah, there we go. Swkoll just dropped an aircon on the top side.
And the other thing in OTA is, Postal actually talked about how the mechanic works better than I possibly ever could. Is there something called radar targeting. TA units do not automatically target stuff that's in radar range but not visual.
All right, we might get to see some D-gunning up here in the middle.
Yes. I just want to mention, Odin based, small base. Postal, based on the games that you had with Swkoll, actually reworked the D-gun to be closer to how it worked in OTA.
That is cool.
Oh yeah.
Is that the D-gun? Where it like blasts a whole line of rockets?
Yeah, that's the D-gun.
Yep.
Nice.
Yep. It's a much better version of... Yep, there it goes. It's much better than the Swing Commander Overcharge. That's one of TA's commander strengths. So TA commanders in the early game are better than the subcom commanders, but as the game goes on, they start falling behind.
Yeah, they don't have upgrades, I guess.
No, they don't have upgrades. So a big thing is once if you can spam overcharge like a TA commander can spam their D-gun. You can draw them, but because the overcharge takes much more energy than the D-gun, is harder to spam. Also, Swkoll needs a cloak and get out of there.
Wait, can the ACU shoot air units? The
Yes.
core commander or arm?
Yes.
I
Yes.
see.
In TA, anything can shoot anything, assuming the gun can pitch high enough to do that.
Right, okay.
So if we see any Pee-wees there, we can also see that. Yeah. That's one of the changes you actually. That's one of the big differences in why actually Postal can use this better than I. Why gunships in OTA actually aren't nearly as good as they are in subcom.
Yes, that's true.
Just because everything can
talk a
shoot
bit
them?
about that?
Usually that, and there's a large amount of missiles typically. Gunships were used. There were no T1 gunships, but they would be used occasionally for specific target attacks or comm assassinations.
So
I think Swkoll might be dead. What do you think?
I think he is. He looks like he's dead unless he cloaks and gets out of there.
He hasn't made a single T2 unit out of his T2 factory.
Yeah, I don't think that's a good call.
I don't think he intended. I mean, Swkoll didn't play with hotkeys, so I think he just chose the first land factory that he built.
Yeah, he's building another T2 lab without even building a T2 unit yet.
I think it's because he doesn't play with hotkeys and he just clicked the commander. I think that's what happened.
The units fire really fast. Actually, the commander fires fast. This artillery bot fires really fast compared to Supreme Commander
So
artillery.
The difference is the raw damage of the hammer is only 100, versus the raw damage of the subcom artillery is much higher.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah.
So they had the same DPS, but less raw damage. The arm commander is similar. Its DPS is the same as a subcom commander, but it has 50 damage per raw shot, but it shoots less often. I think that's actually an OTA thing I changed. I wanted to make the differences between the core and the arm.
Looks like Swkoll will get the top left. I think I have a feeling F-Odin just allowed him to live for now.
Yeah, I find that interesting that he rushed the T2 factory but hasn't put out a single T2 unit.
Yeah, maybe. Well, whatever happened, an accident happened. Whether it was building the factories or it was probably building the
Yeah,
factories.
no, I did notice one thing when I was playing here. Probably he built that from a construction vehicle, or construction unit, and they have their T2 page defaulted. So when you first pull up the con, that's the first thing you see. So he probably saw factory and clicked on it and put it down, even though he didn't mean to spend the extra on a T2 factory. Although now that he's got it, he probably should use it.
Yeah.
But do you want that build power to spam all those labs? Now, the other thing I want to mention here is, so you see that he built that T1 PD. Can you go to Swkoll Spectre for me real quick? Jagged?
Can I? There you go.
Can you?
I can apparently.
Is when TA units shoot, they take energy. A lot of not a lot of units do. Notably in my mod, artillery units, most laser units like that T1 PD.
For those keeping score at home, yes, Odin does have T2 mass distractors and a T2 factory.
I think the laser tower got stuck pointing straight up. Sadly. So I think it's
Actually,
gonna
I think that's because it was just shooting at the bomber.
yeah, but now it's
It was facing a different way.
Yeah,
oh
but
yeah, now it looks like it might be stuck.
Yeah. And it's getting bombed. Oh well.
I don't have no idea why it's doing that. I'll look into that. Oh, he has power, so I don't know why it's not shooting. I'm confused.
I could queue up T2 units for Swkoll while I'm here. I mean, I feel like
I've cheated on? I thought I turned cheating off.
well, I don't know. I can switch to his perspective, so I don't think it is off.
You're trying to cheat, not actually cheating.
No, I didn't click anything to cheat.
Oh.
Let me just go back to observer. Yeah, so F-Odin has T2 economy, T2 land, it's making T2 pigeon. He might actually, he's gonna lose this fight though, right?
Yeah, it looks like it to me.
I feel like these bots, the warriors, they seem to miss quite a bit with their
Everyone's saying that
shots.
they have no I literally removed every accuracy issue they had. I am very confused why that's happening.
Yeah, you can see like quite a few shots go astray.
Yeah, I'm trying to look on that. I've been told that. I thought I fixed. I've worked on it, fixing it multiple times now, and it's still happening. I'm trying to figure out what it is now at this point.
A Zeus has been spotted on the top side.
Oh, what's a Zeus?
Zeus is a T2 K-bot, an ARM T2 K-bot. It's kind of a heavy K-bot with a lightning zapper. So you can see, if you look in close, you can see the lightning effect.
It's based on the pillar for stat balance.
Alright, nice. Alright, so in TA, from watching just Postal's cast, a few of them, do a lot of units in TA generate resources?
Typically everything generates a small amount of energy, but then it also uses it. So you'll see every single slasher produces like +3 energy, but then uses 3 energy.
Right.
So there are a lot of different ways to build your economy, and they vary on what's most efficient from map to map and what your objectives are. There are some methods that are slower and safer. Generally, though, the best way to improve your economy is to expand and to take territory.
Right.
Yeah. Which something I want to bring up here. So something another TA mod did on Escalation is they reduced the reclaim values, and it has caused some issues with aggressive play and expansion. I kind of know in Subcom we were thinking about doing that. Postal, can you talk a bit about what that did?
Yeah, so one of the things about OTA and reclaim values is because the reclaim values are around 80% of the cost of the unit, what it means is as you fight, every inch of territory that you gain is worth something. So if you push forward just a little bit, you've just claimed a little bit of rec field, and you can bring up your construction units behind and reclaim that. If you reduce the reclaim values too much, you get to a point where it's not worth it to gain any territory, so it causes players to be a bit more passive in their play. Trying to wait for a decisive fight where they gain a large amount of territory instead of fighting over every inch of ground. I don't know if that would exactly have the exact same effect in Supreme Commander, but I do know for TA, if you decrease the rec values, you can end up with games where people kind of sit and do a bit more building and get bigger for bigger fights. Which, if that's the preference, then that's what they got to go for. So,
Right. Yeah, I think
and a lot of people like that style of play too. So it's not necessarily a bad thing. It's just that's something that I think will happen.
So they're still making adjustments like that in TA.
That's for Escalation. For TA itself, OTA is a, once Cave Dog died, the official version of that stayed the same. So the meta was allowed to develop on its own, kind of without any heavy hand from above.
Right.
But for mods and people who are looking to kind of change TA, then you can see some things that are a little bit different. So Escalation's the most popular mod right now. It's got excellent mod. They actually just released their 9.5, so if people want to go check that out. And they just have their T4 units that they put out. But there's that mod, and then there's like Mayhem, which Gamma is working on, and then there's a mod that Venom is working on, where that's trying to stay a little closer to OTA style of play, with fast aggression and every inch of ground being worth something.
Right.
And the answer to your question, Morty, every TA unit that's not essentially a duplicate of another unit is in this mod. So we don't have the underwater. Technically, the underwater mexes do not exist, but the TA mexes can be built underwater.
Now, if you take a look on the top left, you'll see that the freedom fighters are shooting the ground and attacking things. That is something that is not uncommon in OTA to see 3 freedom fighters harassing a construction unit until the construction unit is dead. They don't do a ton of damage, but they will take out NGs, as you call them.
Yeah, eventually.
Yeah, they do very little damage, don't they?
But they're going to do enough to completely harass that and stop it from getting that expansion in there.
So do they have
Also, the
like
combat's dead, too.
do they have reduced damage versus Latin ground units?
Yes.
Is it right? Okay.
Yes, if you can select any unit from me, actually, you can see it.
Oh yeah, you can see the armor values. Is it?
Yeah. Yeah, because there's 2 types of anti-air weaponry in the TA mod. There's anti-air, which is used by freedom fighters, which is used by most units, and there's something called FAM air. This is actually a change based on something that Postal did in his game with Swkoll, where he was using slashes and missile turrets rather sadly. And I changed their values so that basically if you make something like slashes or missile towers or Samsons, their damage versus ground won't be as enough as the air units will.
And there goes the gunships.
Yeah.
Right, so those warriors can't reach the gunship, is that what it is? So they can't shoot at it? Is that the only reason they can't?
Yes, they can't pitch high. They
Right.
can't pitch high enough. Yes.
Ah, right.
At least that's what Raven did, and I didn't. I don't generally. I trust Raven to do most. If Raven did something, I trust him most of the time to be an accurate OTA put. That's one of the things. Yeah. Great example of this is the Flaka, which is what in subcover would be a T2 anti-air unit. Cannot shoot ground.
Right. Where's all Swkoll's energy go? Oh, I see, I think. Where?
Yeah, because OTA units require energy to shoot. So one of the differences between OTA and subcom, in OTA, energy stalling. Oh, actually, you can talk about Postal better than I could.
In OTA, energy stalling will cause all of your stuff to shut down. So your lasers won't shoot and your metal extractors won't produce metal. All your energy relating things. So your missile units will still shoot and that sort of thing. Planes still fly. There's no issues there. But if you don't have enough energy and you're energy stalling, you'll lose a little bit of metal production. One thing here that Swkoll definitely needs to do, though, is build some wind farms or some kind of bigger energy production, because he's just got a whole bunch of solars at this point.
Yeah, and I said the totals are balanced around making them early game, but not making them late game.
Yeah.
Building wind farms.
Yeah, I remember seeing some of those games, and it's just the whole map covered in wind generators in TA. You're like, well, he has a pretty big economy.
Also, that poor TML. That TML is just murdering Swkoll's place.
Yes, it's killing everything.
They do have TMD, the solo clear guys. So anyone asked that question.
There you go. You can see he just dropped a Scarab, the tactical missile defense.
Oh, okay, he did. Cool.
Yep, he just put one out.
Bit late.
In OTA, that's also a mobile nuke defense. That's what you use it for primarily.
Oh.
Yeah. In SCTA Fix, which is not the balance version, it does have that capability still. But it's not in the it's not in the version of the balance version of the mod. Also, we really need to stop building those T2 advanced factories now. So now, for those who don't know Fabcom and FAF, Dragun actually can talk a bit more about this better than I could. There's something called the NG mod, which is what they did to make it so it's easier to scale high-tech build power by making cheap factories. OTA obviously doesn't have that. One of the things I did in this mod is, as we mentioned earlier, there are 2 types of land factories for TA. There is advanced K-Bot and vehicle. What I did was, so the advanced vehicle lab cannot be built by the Tech 1 NGs anymore, despite that being a thing in OTA. what I did, I made the Advanced Vehicle Labs function what would be a subcom support factory. So you can only build them from the T2 constructors, but they cost only about 600 for.
I think Swkoll might get it here on the Odin's pulling back.
Yeah. Yeah, you could so the Advanced Vehicle Lab for ARM functions as what would be a support land factory.
Right. But how do you mean it functions as a support factory, though?
It only costs about 600 mass.
Okay. But there's no HQ, though.
And you only, no, you only can build it from a T2 NG.
Oh, okay.
So it's not exactly the same, obviously. But it's meant to enable a similar type of scalable build power.
All right. Yeah, the Autumns are going to kill everything. There's no way you can fight Autumns with these units.
Yeah.
So, not sure what Swkoll can do here.
He needs to get up to T3.
Yeah.
T3? There's no T3 for Swkoll.
Well, I mean, it's fine. It's T2.5. It's what it's actually. They're actually basically anything labeled in T3 and SCTA for TA factions are actually more like something like Ilsuvas. If you guys know that, if you don't know what that is. An
Right.
Ilsuva is basically a very strong T2 unit. So, Dragun, if you don't mind me, can you talk a bit about the NG mod?
NG mod.
if you
Oh,
don't
right.
know.
Okay. So basically, F-Odin's com dropping as well. Okay. Just relocating. Yeah, NG mod is just basically when you upgrade a factory from T1 to T2 to T3. The first time you do that, you have to make a headquarters. So you'll have a headquarter T2 factory and a headquarter T3 factory. And once you have that, it enables you to build support factories, which are much cheaper than the headquarters, but allow you to build the same units. So it basically enables you to scale your production of higher tech units much more efficiently with the units instead of just assisting a single factory with engineers, because engineers are much more efficient than a headquarters in terms of how much build power you get per mass. So you can build support factories, and if the headquarters dies, then you can't produce higher tech units anymore from the support factory, so you have to always have a HQ for the support factories to actually function properly.
I mean, except for NGs, you can build NGs.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You can build NGs, true, but you can't build any higher tech actual units. But yeah.
Also, can you scroll in on those power generators that Odin is killing right now? I want to show people something real quick.
Also, Swkoll is driving a big Bertha.
Ah,
Really?
And then I'm afraid I'm gonna have to take off.
okay. Thank you, Odin. Thank you, Postal, for stopping by, and thank you once again for your team input.
Yeah, hopefully you guys have fun with this one. And then for those who want to find me, you can find me at the Total Annihilation Replays channel, the Total Annihilation Universe Discord. I'm also on the SCTA Discord too, so if you want to tag me and if you have any questions or anything you guys want to ask.
Yeah, go check
guys,
out.
take care.
All right. See you, Postal.
Yeah, the thing I wanted to actually show you guys was in OTA, in TA just in general, if you shot a solar generator with a unit, it would actually temporarily close, because that'll give it more defense. Now the thing with doing that though is it's no longer generating power when it's doing something like that.
Oh, that's cool,
So-
actually. So when you
yeah,
shoot the solar generator, it closes up and doesn't take as much damage?
Yeah, it gets about a 50% damage reduction, I believe.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
So that's why I wanted to scroll in to show you before he killed them all.
Yeah, I think this one is kind of closed up a little bit, or maybe that's just how the wreck looks. I don't know.
Well, the wreck is based on how how the wreck mesh is formed is based on when the unit was destroyed, what it would look like.
Right. Okay. Cool.
So because it was closed up when it died, it's
The wreck shows up
slightly
like
closed
that.
up. Yeah. So that's what that is. Now the other thing with OTA too versus subcom is in OTA every unit is volatile in some fashion. Your factory, if Odin would control K one of those factories, or Swkoll, I mean, would control K a factory over there, it would actually do about 50 damage to the things around it. In OTA, it would actually do more like 200, but I've changed those stats.
Right. Yeah. So basically, every unit does damage when it dies.
Yeah. And in OTA, they actually would do more damage if you control K something. And now, for those who love Wrath comms, every TA NG, if you click at TA NG for me, you just kind of went over one a second ago, it produces actually a amount of energy. Generally +1 to +3 depending on the tier and type it is.
Right.
That was a mechanic in OTA that I kept in. Originally, I also produced and MASH too. I have disabled that aspect. Now, something OTA doesn't have, that Odin is using very well right now against Swkoll, is OTA does not have shields.
No.
And one of the things I had to balance that around is the reason why the Warriors and other OTA units is better in the early game than subcom equivalent is to help emphasize the OTA gameplay being much more aggressive, much more active than subcom gameplay. But because of that, they also fall off more in the late game, as we are actually seeing right now.
Yeah.
And a big boss is basically it's something between a T2 and a T3 arty in balance.
Right. So
what
it's
it became-
it's gonna
what
reach
actually-
his base, right?
It should, unless I messed something up.
It does.
What units
For sure.
Yeah. So what the big boss actually became in subcom was a unit we would call known as the Klinkam, which is UEF's T2 arty.
Yep. But really in this, it is basically somewhere in between T2 and T3. Because it's 15,000 mass, which is much less than a T3 RT in subcom, but much more than a T2 one. And with really big range. But
So if you can see that you notice he took a little bit of damage on those engines when he controlled K those factories. Not very much, because I reduced the damage significantly for this mechanic.
Uh-oh, I
yeah.
think his gun has been spotted, but it's just about to finish.
Yeah.
Oh, I want to see how much damage this thing can do. It's gonna be good.
Yeah.
He has no TMD anymore, does he?
Is the scout dead?
Oh, it just died. Uh-oh.
Rest in peace, Big Bossa.
Oh no. Also, what? It's not firing at the moment. Oh, it is.
It's just moving it's just turning very slowly.
What's it firing at?
Apparently,
no.
Odin's commander.
It's dead. No, it's dead already. It got TML'd and then the Yenzines came in and just killed it. Well, that's sad. Didn't even get to see it hit anything.
Oh, come on, shoot! Yeah, see that's the AOE damage that you see right there when that thing exploded. See all those rest in peace, all those poor NGs.
Yep. Well, Swkoll got It didn't go well for him this game.
Yeah. I mean, in all honesty, I don't think that's going to go much different. We have the higher player on subcom here. Not to say, Swkoll's not a good player or vice versa, but the higher player is right now on subcom with this TA.
Yeah, in 1v1 though, Swkoll is better. But yes, F-Odin
Okay.
does have a better global rating at least.
Yeah.
But definitely
Fair enough.
Swkoll is better.
You would know this
1v1.
better than. Yeah, but you would know this more than I would. I don't play that much 1v1s.
Yeah.
Um,
GG, says Swkoll.
so next map will be on Cold Place. Third map will be your choice, Jag, and then we'll see what we go from there.
Alright.
Um,
Damn, I wish I was playing now, actually, to be honest.
you still can play. I mean, no, nothing's stopping you. Yep. Also, see you, Postal.
Yes, now I'm in the deep
Yes.
end. I have no Total Annihilation caster to enlighten me on this game. I've played TA basically for a couple of hours, maybe a few years ago. That's most of my knowledge.
So because I probably have to leave the game again, Jag, knowing what happened last time, you can host this time? This time will be a map. This time will be Cold Place.
All right. Same password as last time.
Okay.
Cold Place. There it is. Let me make sure I have the mods on.
Oh, I got you another TA caster coming. A guy, Tim Music.
All right, cool.
I mean, I think he's like, I'm not sure if he was planning on coming by, but you know.
All right. Okay, I hosted.
I sent. Yeah. I sent him the invite. He's going to join us. He's going to join us. Password is 12345.
Well, you said it on stream now, so.
Oh, okay.
Well, that's fine. I'll just kick everyone. I don't think anyone's joined anyway.
Hello.
How's it going?
Well,
So, Swkoll, you build T2 factories, right?
Yeah, I built some T2 factories.
yeah, but you only built T1 units out of them.
Well, that was like one of them that I didn't realize was a T2 factory.
Okay. I was thinking.
Also, you realize if you build the T2 NGs, you could build the vehicle lab, which is actually your support factory.
It's what now?
The T2 Advanced Vehicle Lab for ARM is your support factory equivalent.
Oh, so I was just building the HQ over and over.
Yes.
Okay.
Something like that. Games up, F-Odin. On Cold Place.
Yep. So this time, Odin, you'll be on TA. Swkoll will be on subcom.
Oh, I get to play a real faction? Amazing.
Oh, yeah.
Are you implying I have terrible balancing decisions, Swkoll?
Oh, no, never. I would never do such a thing.
Oh yeah, you're supposed to make winds, by the way, I think.
Oh, is wind more efficient than solar?
Yeah. I mean, you
Oh.
can see
After
the
the first-
cost.
Yeah.
Like-
After the first 4 or 5 P gens, you're supposed to make wind.
All right.
Yeah, wind's better.
Like, solar's mostly there for
Group formed.
Early on.
wind for the early game. Yeah.
But yeah, winds are way more efficient. I mean, check the cost. It's like half the mass for more energy. It's not even close. Dragon, are you joining or no?
I'm not going to be joining because last time I started lagging almost immediately.
All right. Okay.
Is there a unit that
Um,
can kill Shivers?
So I get a real faction this time. Let's do it.
There,
What are you asking?
was that just Swkoll not building Tech 2 units?
Yep.
What?
For a long
Okay.
time.
I can build
After
pillars.
but eventually he did make T2 units and they were pretty decent. But for the longest time he just had a T2 factory and it was making Mantis or whatever the equivalent is.
Yeah, that was intended to be a T1 factory, and I didn't notice
Yeah.
for quite some time.
They look
I
like...
picked a TA faction out of habit.
Oh, you also spawned right next to each other.
You want to restart?
Yeah. Yeah, you
just what?
You're in the wrong spawns.
Oh yeah, we're in the wrong spawns.
My bad.
Back to lobby.
Alright.
Oh, I've only just seen Jagged stream. That's how wrong the slots were. Okay.
Mimi.
We'll get it this time.
I just thought it was top bottom. Like I thought it was 3 spawns. So I was like, it doesn't matter. It can't be that bad, could it?
You'd be surprised.
Alright, it's up again.
Group formed.
There we go.
Right, who's going TA?
I think you.
You? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's fine.
I'll go Sarah, because I have no soul.
Today is the game of Seraphim.
In revenge.
The mod is SCTA, Matt. You can find it in the mod vault. There's two
Make
mods.
sure you actually want to play. Can you explain?
Yeah, there's two mods: SCTA balance and SCTA fix. So if you just search SCTA, you'll find both of them. And yeah, that's what we're looking at now.
Yeah. SCTA fix is more or less just OTA ported into subcom without any changes, while balance is
balance is.
Balance is with working the TA factions to actually fit within the subcom context.
All right. I'm interested to see just regular SCTA. I don't really. I'm more interested in that actually, to be honest.
Yeah, we can do that next. We can do that for the for the next game, I guess then.
Cool. Because I want to see all the.
I will warn you guys.
All the old TA stuff.
I will warn you guys right now. I have there might be some stuff in that version that is broken because I don't really maintain it too much. I mean, I do some. But I mostly focus on balance.
Right.
And there are a lot of interface things that do not exist in Fix that I have added to balance. Notably, the idle factory icon does not work. That is deliberate.
All right.
Also, there are some aspects that existed in OTA that don't exist in Fix that I can bring up as we do.
The aircons really have low build power, don't they?
Yes. They have a third or half of the build power of the regular NG, depending on how you want to look at it.
Yeah. F-Odin, I think you should probably send those further
Yeah.
away, actually. You should probably like walk to the close one and send the other one miles away. Send it across to his side.
I thought it was going to be a little bit faster.
Yeah, yeah, it is really slow. It takes like
only
30 or 40 seconds to build a max.
It has only 2 build power for context. Its raw build power is only 2. For context, a regular sub TA NG in balance has 6 build power.
Hmm.
And as you guys know, subcom has 5 build power on their NGs.
Yeah.
Okay, so I did get the other TA, another TA player is gonna be coming in to joining us, and after he gets some coffee.
Nice.
If he's not here by next game, I'll have us do the actual OTA, like SCTA on versus core, once he gets here.
Cool. Yeah, so Fulton's making more factories. So he's making the vehicle plants, not making the K-bots.
Yes,
Swkoll
now
was making K-bots before.
Yes. This is actually a thing that I've done for balance. Now, one of the things a lot of people actually asked me when I made this mod is, what do I go first, K-bot or vehicle? One of the decisions I made was for opening build orders, SCTA, ARM and Core, SCTA factions, ARM has been balanced based on going Core first. Well, Core's been balanced going... Core has been balanced on going vehicle first. ARM has been balanced around going K-bot first.
Alright. Okay.
There's a bit more to it than that, but on a basic level, that is what it is.
Alright.
No, that's an engine restriction, Dolph.
Come on, AC, kill that bomber.
Almost.
Wait, no. That's not supposed to happen.
Oh, do you guys want me to move you to in chat? Or do you guys care this time?
Yeah, sure.
Oh,
Okay.
oh, it's fine.
Okay. I'll just keep you guys in chat this time.
Yeah, leave them
Cool.
here.
Yeah.
Yeah, bombers can do... Yeah, this is one of the things though, right? So the winds are, like... I don't know, are they super efficient? But they're so low HP. They
Yeah,
get one shot
they're
by
designed
any
for one pass.
bomber.
Yes, that's the balance on them actually.
Let me see.
TA Eco is actually very snipeable, unlike Subcom's Eco.
Mm.
I mean, Subcom Eco is also snipeable, but you get my point.
Yeah. No, winds are much more snipeable than regular pigeons. Like, it's only 50 mass, 25 on average.
I feel like I've hit a moment where I might have messed up really badly.
Yeah, I'm looking... Yeah, your score is a bit low.
Did you build a T2 radar?
No. My power's just been very low from the start, and building power is spending a lot of power.
What are you spending
Like,
power on right now?
Literally, the only thing that's building is my com.
Oh no.
Yo, cloak is on.
And
How the cloak on? Oh no, it's not on. Never mind.
now it's on.
I saw minus 275. That's now your cloak being on, but look, never mind.
Yeah, how are you draining that much to build a pigeon? That's not right, is it? I don't think that's right.
That's cloak. That's because he has. No, because look how much energy the wind takes. Oh, that's what I meant to fix ages ago. That's why. That explains that. I think I know that's why. I'm guessing that's why. No, that's not. That's not it. No, it's just that he has. Odin toggle cloak for me.
He doesn't have cloak on.
Yeah, cloak puts me minus 1,000, so it's definitely not cloak.
Yeah.
Minus a
But this is
thousand.
minus 275, and that's when that's cloak when when it's untoggled. When it's not moving.
Yeah, no, there's
the one
Tank
wind
makes
farm.
things
There-
That
That-
one wind farm. That cost me so.
yeah, it's definitely draining way too much here to build these solars. Because it's supposed to be minus 36, and it's like minus 275. So,
That's the my guess is there's a bug right now with the cloak maintenance cost getting triggered when it shouldn't be.
yeah, that's probably it. Yeah, it doesn't look too good for a phone.
How did this happen? Oh my god, I hate this cloak bug so much. It always comes. Every time I fix it, it comes back.
I gotta say, I'm sorry, but this feels just really nice. I know what everything is. I know how it works.
Like, I feel like I asked for this last game. So at least I'm not being tack packed. Like,
Yeah, Tac Pack was mean. Actually, ACU upgrades in general is mean against TA.
I think TA does have like better comm and cloak, better comm or it doesn't bark like it's currently barking right now. Apparently.
I tried to abuse that slightly on Loki, but didn't really work out.
No, you ended up with less HP than F-Odin pretty quick.
oh, finally positive power.
Hey, you're not draining 300 to build a pigeon anymore. Looks good
just-
now.
Let's just avoid the fact that it's 8.5 minutes into the game.
I'm gonna look into fixing that. I'm gonna guess. But Swkoll, you didn't have that happen to you during your game, right?
Have a what now?
You didn't have that bug come up in your side of the game at all.
No, I don't think so. But there was some power stalling, but I think that might have been on me.
Yeah.
To be fair, this is totally on me for going first there.
Oh yeah, that
probably
might have also that might have also been the thing that happened here.
Yeah, that might have hurt a little more than I
Yeah,
was expecting.
the air factory is quite a bit more energy than either of the land factories.
Yeah.
Quite a lot more. It's like 2,000 something, and the others are like maybe 1,000 less.
And then a nice 1,000 power for the construction aircraft. Yep. I
Oh,
knew-
really?
Oh yeah, I mean they're good, but they like people tell me they're broken, but I'm like you pay that you do pay for them. They're not free.
Nothing's free.
Oh yes, but that's probably one of the common praise I get from people who just try this mod. It's aircons NG, aircons op overpowered northeast.
Yeah, I don't really see aircons being overpowered at all. They seem kind of weak. They're weak
yeah,
actually.
They have.
I think I may have I feel like since I might have over nerfed them actually. I didn't touch them. I only did a tap on them after the tournament. And I did actually. I increased the health a bit too. You didn't notice that, Odin. They should no longer add one past anymore.
Yeah, because I remember playing with Eco Noob, and all we would do is one inti would kill everyone's airbots,
Yeah.
which was quite fun.
So. I kind of want to do a second game after this because that energy stall is how painful.
Yeah, I think we should maybe start a new game. Looking at this poor base. Can't even use the D gun anymore now.
Alright, last P-Gen is dead, I think.
I just can't wait until this lone interceptor in the top right corner kills it. It's getting there very, very, very slowly, but it's going to happen.
Any
wait, I'm
minute
dead.
now. Two damage.
Odin, let's ask, do you know anything that might have caused that bug to happen? So I try to be created later today.
Yeah, we can do. I
Yeah.
have no idea what causes that was.
Do you try overcharging the aircon maybe? The bomber that came at you?
No, so I didn't actually turn the gun on until I sorted that power problem out. So
Okay. Okay. I'll try it.
Alright, I'll host
Let's-
again.
As I
Let's
said,
try-
we think that's a bug with somehow, with something with how the cloak code works. Oh, I know what happened.
What happened?
I know how it triggered the. So the way the cloak code works is if you move, it changes your maintenance strain.
like,
Right.
Maybe when you were moving and building the PGen, it triggered the code.
That will be
Yeah.
something you can replay.
Yeah, I'll look at the replay later.
I rehosted
that's my-
anyway.
Yeah.
Does the DLC get implemented in this mod too? The core contingency DLC.
Group formed.
Yes,
And what's in that?
the Kogas.
The what?
It's experimental,
Oh, right, okay.
and all the underwater buildings and hover and seaplanes.
Okay. Oh yeah, I saw the seaplane factory and I was like, wait, hang on. A seaplane factory? That sounds
Seaplanes
cool.
all mean. So that's another example of something I've changed in SCTA balance versus original SCTA. Original SCTA, TA, I mean, hovers and seaplanes were glorified T1.5 units. They're really, really, really bad.
Okay.
And anyone who actually played competitively would only build the seaplane torpedo bomber. What I've done in balance is I've reworked both hovers and seaplanes to once again make the comparison. All they is they're kind of like issues for subcom.
All right.
So, them taking the place of what would be kind of like T3 units. They're not actually T3 units because that's once again deliberate design weakness built into SCTA balance.
All right. Vehicle plan first this time. Nice.
Making that mistake again.
No. It is idle though.
Look, one mistake at a time.
Learning a whole new game.
It really does feel like that.
Like,
Well, not
What do
me playing Seraphim, obviously, but like when you're playing the TA faction, it kind of feels like you're playing TA, which is the idea. But I
Yeah.
haven't played a lot of TA, so that's hard.
it's the Buzzsaw and Vulcan are basically based on the Scasis element, basic on the Scasis. Specifically, actually, the Vulcan and the Buzzsaw were the inspirations for the Scasis and the Maver of Subcom.
I did manage to hit minus 240 somewhere. I think it was when I was walking.
Yeah.
That might
Okay.
be it.
I think I spotted that. Suddenly you had no power. I don't know.
Okay, so that's the bug.
First
is that
bomber,
happening?
really? First bomber?
Yeah, we're gonna do this.
You're disgusting.
Let me shoot you. Come on.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah, first bomber is gonna be absolutely busted. Oh yeah, you're minus 300 again. By the way.
Ah, yes.
And there goes all your power. In 2
I'm
bombs.
gonna check the code real quick. I'm gonna do a quick hotfix on the mod.
Yeah, that might be just
So
a
I'm-
tiny
wait.
bit broken.
First bomber is busted. That's for sure. Against these 450 HP PGens.
I do remember going first bomber in the 2v2 tournament. And it wasn't great because I think I tried it on core going first bomber, but I think if you go first bomber as against them, it's so much better.
Yeah. The core bomb was also actually blatantly overpowered because I didn't realize I thought an interaction back in BTA tournament. It had 500 damage a bomb. Not a bombing one, but a bomb.
Hello, Eternal Power still. We need
Yeah, you minus. You got
Yeah,
the
I'm
bug.
doing a hotfix right now.
What are you hot fixing? What's the change?
I'm figuring out where it is that's doing this.
can't
Oh,
even
alright.
build, I can't build over structures, so yeah.
Oh yeah.
So just play it on for now, and we'll just figure out I'll figure out what this issue is.
All right, I'm gonna rehost.
Oh, I see it. I see it. That is really funny. Okay, this is a very easy fix. Thank God.
For now, will I just rehost or?
Yeah, just be host for now. I need to take some time to update the mod anyways.
Mhm. All right. What's up?
Just
This
a
is
bug
why
with-
we have.
Is it just a bug with war then?
Yes.
Or-
Because the core having the cloak turned off is not active. That's literally what it is.
Group
Oh no.
So the game never thinks cloak is off. But that's a really easy fix. I just saw it. Did I not like? Oh my god, I'm so angry at myself right now. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I'm really tempted to first bomber again.
I'm really expecting it now.
You know what? Just go ahead and build the AA preemptively.
Become a 1000.
Look at those P-gens. They couldn't be further from each other.
Odin, what if you always finding the random bugs I need to fix? By the way.
I just have a knack for finding bugs.
What if I?
Okay, so updated versions are done. I'm uploading them now. Because the point of the mod is to enable subcom to play subcom against TA. Because it's the original unmodified TA factions for the subcom ends very poorly. So I'm more amazed that this must have been like this for at least a couple of weeks and no one noticed it. And reported it to me. That's what I also find impressive right now. It's like,
I think no one has a good sense of what the eco balance of the mod should be, so it's hard to notice when it doesn't line up with what it's actually supposed to be.
that's fair.
Yeah, I feel like it's pretty similar though, really. Like with
That's the
this,
intent.
with the balance, I mean, it's
Yeah.
pretty much the same. Although I'm wondering about the, say, like the engineers having different build power, same as the commander. The factories are the same.
Yeah.
Well, like the energy cost of like everything is different, and you start off with less, so all the builds need to be like tweaked slightly.
Yeah, true. Having less in storage is kind of a big deal in the opening. But I wondered, can you just expand faster as a TA faction?
The answer is you should be able to do. That's how the mod was designed. That's what it's meant to be TA strengths, is because you don't have adjacency, because everything is volatile. It's meant to encourage you to spread out further and faster. Air cons are another element of that interaction.
Oh, Commander.
Thank you, Odin, for being apparently a live bug tester on stream for me.
Damn, the Commander's pretty good against bombers.
Yeah, I'm liking this. I'm liking that. That's-
Yeah. I don't need air.
It's like the
Screw
opening cinematic.
Yeah.
I've now got this useless AA. Just
Only good air.
Oh yeah, so if ground units can shoot air units, and air units can shoot ground units, can anti-air shoot ground units?
Yes.
Alright.
That was the thing. Remember I mentioned that thing with the Samson and the Slashers and etc. earlier today?
Hmm.
Those
Yeah.
were technically TA's dedicated anti-air unit, but they're also they function a lot like how in subcom we use Auroras.
Alright, okay. So they have more range.
Yeah. So,
You got the peewees.
and that's how I've treated them.
My bomber's having a hell of a time trying to bomb this K-bot.
Yeah, well,
I'm not sure you're even dodging. Oh yeah, you're kind of dodging.
He definitely is. He's also
Yeah.
shooting down your bomber.
Very effectively.
Well,
As
slightly.
well.
Yeah, the bomber just can't drop.
It literally cannot. All right, the bomber gives up.
You
It's going
gotta
home.
you gotta ground fire in this in this scenario.
Yeah.
Actually, PV is actually very famously a OTA unit that can shoot. And not like the PV and or the lab equivalent units were very famously able to shoot air rather effectively, despite not being anti-air units.
Hmm. Yeah, Pee Wee's pretty good.
The issue is that I mean, yes, about to mention that. The thing was that is not recreated mechanically in this mod that was true in OTA. The thing with the PV is, well, I mean, it doesn't exist in subcoms. I've been semi-thinking of bringing this back, in fairness, but has been something called basically a projectile can only shoot when a projectile gets to a certain elevation, it disappears.
In TA, you mean?
Yes.
Right.
And a PV projectile can only shoot at a very low elevation, so they can shoot very effectively at air because they have the ability to pitch up and fire very fast.
Right.
But they don't. But the projectiles the height the projectile can actually go to is actually really low. So the hotfix version of the mod is now up, by the way, guys. The core is no longer going to be broken.
Okay. Yeah, so unlucky there on that max. 10 HP. The Pee Wee didn't finish the job.
You
Yeah.
should have ran into it, Odin.
Oh yeah, explode next to it for damage.
I actually just trying to put down a pommel with my comm again.
Oh my god. How are you ground firing in between all of those? You're absolutely shameless.
Now,
I
another
really
interesting
am.
It's an exhibition game. Look at this.
Oh, cool. I'll do that.
Now, another interesting thing about OTA, that I removed this mechanic, but I might be bringing it back. I've talked to some OTA players about this. If a mech dies on a mass point, it actually does not leave a wreck.
Yeah, that kind of hurt a lot in the Loki game when my mexes got TML'd.
But the mechanic's not currently in the game right now.
Oh,
Yeah,
then
yeah.
that's just over damage.
Yes.
Yeah, I took it out. But what you would actually do, interesting enough, is because keep in mind, units cost a lot more in OTA than they do in subcom, but that mechanic actually existed for every OTA unit, not just mexes. So you would send, let's say, a striker to raid, and the striker was about to die. You'd actually run it onto a mass point.
So you leave low mass behind.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. It's not
AAs
bad.
don't fire on the move.
The bombers are so insanely good versus wind.
Yeah. I'm happy because that was because I've had some people play test this mod and say that they don't feel like that's actually the case, and I'm like, because wind is too cheap. So bombing them not efficient even is effective at it.
Well,
I highly question that. Like,
they're
the
definitely.
bombers seem to be crazy good.
Yeah.
For reference, this was Felix and Hatsu.
Bunch of
Take that
noobs.
for that.
Just kidding. Just kidding.
I wasn't gonna say it.
I mean, admittedly, I have reworked the wins to be more since they played the modern tournament, the wins got about 20% energy increase in cost. So that might have also changed that relationship a bit.
Yeah, so, I mean, it seems like F-Odin's getting crushed again.
At least this time it's not minus 300 power because of a bug.
Yeah.
Minus 300 power, just in general.
Oh yeah, you are minus 300 power right now. So, yeah.
But not due to a bug.
Well, no, it definitely is,
Mouse.
because you're just building a T1 max.
Oh
damn.
no.
Yeah.
God
Okay.
Fuck, I'm just gonna move. I'm just moving this code. Don't download the updated version of the mod. I'm just gonna get rid of this code because this is just annoying. I can't get it to work despite multiple attempts, and I'm just.
Yeah, well, this isn't the fixed version you said, so I don't know.
But the ARM.com, I just took the ARM.com and just put it into into the core com.
Right.
Um,
Stop bombing all the power. God damn it. I want to see the D gun, and you're killing every PGen.
Oh, alright, yeah.
Ridiculous.
Bombers, let's go home.
Well, he's
so,
got none anymore, so it's all good.
Alright, so we're gonna back up.
I'm just gonna get rid of this mechanic. It makes me sad, but
Yeah, no
Can I-
cloak.
I mean the cloak is keeping. I'm just not because the reason it's going on is because the commander is moving or not moving. Has a different gives a different cost on the commander's moving or not moving actually has a different cost for the cloak for maintaining cloak.
Right. Okay, so you said so you're making another update to the
Yeah.
mod?
Yeah, I'm
Alright.
just gonna get rid of the that mechanic right now. Until I come back to it later
All right.
to fix. So it's just gonna be always minus 300 now. For when you have cloak on, I'm getting rid of the motion mechanic, which is what's causing it.
Okay.
I was trying to capture your K-bot factory.
So just give me a few seconds, guys.
Didn't work.
Won't take long.
Oh, you couldn't capture?
I think my engine might have died.
Oh, yeah. I saw him try capturing that max.
Well, I wonder who's gonna win this game. Oh, a few more
Alright, let me know when
factories.
you have enough power to degun stuff.
Maybe now. I don't know.
It's 800.
15.
It's 800 for the. It should be 800 for the
so-
comms.
All right.
I've changed that because based on the game of Postal played with Swkoll.
Oh, there's power down here. Oops.
Oops.
Why is there power
Without
down there?
trying. Even without trying.
Why is there power down there? I wonder. Maybe it's because
I
all the
mean,
ones
you
in the
did hide it
base died.
successfully.
until you found it. Oh yeah, so in actual TA, in OTA, the wind, how do wind turbines work in terms of
The map-
like how much power you get?
It's map dependent. I mean, it's basically what you see in the mod does what it is the way it works in the actual OTA. Except in actual OTA, it's map dependent.
Right.
The variance.
So at certain maps, wind is more effective. And is
Yeah,
solar
or not at all.
is solar also variable, or is that always the same?
Technically, it's technically variable,
Okay.
but it actually never is.
Okay. Right. All right.
Um,
So sometimes you would never build. Oh yeah, there's also tidal energy.
yeah.
Shapey just mentioned.
Yeah, title worked then title worked the same way as solar did. It wasn't really it was technically variable in OTA, but it
Right.
never really varied
Okay.
that much. At least never on the same map.
Okay.
It's from what I've been told. Take that for that.
Looks like the Thams are getting crushed. Oh, they're not shooting. That's why they're getting
Yeah,
crushed.
they're pacifist.
They
What's
are.
going on here?
Are you
Come on.
energy stalling?
Okay.
No, I have them on hold fire.
Oh, okay.
Good job.
I should have enough. Should have enough now. Hopefully.
Like, they're just minding their own business.
Alright. Oof. Nice bombs. Yeah, the T1 anti-air doesn't seem terribly effective. Looks, in fact, extremely ineffective, I would say.
Like it's just not shooting when it moves.
Hmm. No, no, it is. I think it just turns very slowly sometimes. Or
Yeah,
something, I'm not
maybe.
sure exactly. But it's not very effective anyway.
If anything needs to be buffed, it's their Team 1 mobile AA.
I
Okay,
agree.
so I killed the function that was doing this thing. Something else might break now. Hopefully not. I'll do a quick test game.
All right.
Just to make sure. Then I'll upload to the vault, and then Buddha is gonna kill me because I uploaded three high high storage mods in like 2 hours. Buddhist, forgive me.
He's on vacation too, and you're gonna break FAF.
So kind of want Swkoll to capture some tech, because he will actually have resources to build some of the higher tech units.
All right, we'll see what I can do. We'll strategically kill everything but the factory.
I take it you've got flak in that army or AA at the bottom because my bomb has just disappeared.
Yeah, yeah, I got a few AAs.
Okay.
Well, the K-bots seem pretty similar to just regular T1 units anyway.
Yeah.
Performing normal.
Okay. No, I did a quick 5-second test. The fix did not break anything. I kept building something that I would not. I call combat not spending like 1 billion energy. So.
Yeah, those T1
I did
bombers
not-
have very little HP actually.
In general, you'll notice a lot of TA air units in SCTA fix has less health than the subcom equivalents. They tend to have higher alpha damage to make up for that. For example, the Freedom Fighters and the Vengeance, which is the core equivalent to Intis, and core arm equivalent to Intis, I mean. They have much higher raw DPS than a subcom. Inti does, but they have only 200 HP.
Right.
So the idea, yeah.
E-bots can't shoot that transport.
This is my attempt to capture something, because I think you controlled Cade, the factory, in the expansion, or I just killed it.
Oh, he's capturing. He's dying.
It's like you're focusing the engines.
You can do it. You're almost
See, you've
there.
chosen violence.
Oh,
No!
oh my god, he's so
No.
close. He was like
Alright. We're
95%.
gonna try this again.
One off and
Uh-oh.
Timmy? Where is Timmy?
No, the commander's alive.
Oh wait, no. There's the commander. I think the fam just walked past him.
So the question I have for you, Dragun, this is slightly a competitive question for just subcom in general. I know some people I had work on this mod actually really like the drop pod and would like to see it in tournament play. Just not outside of this mod, I mean.
Oh, yes. Where, you just choose the commander once you're in the game.
Yeah.
So then your opponent never knows what you actually are going to go for.
Exactly.
That is actually cool, and
Um,
that would be nice to
and I
have
was
actually.
curious to-
Because then, like on ladder,
I can make a separate
especially,
mod for it.
like especially on ladder, one of the issues is, or one of the reasons certain factions get picked more often is because they're just more generally good on any kind of map, and then other factions might be way better on a certain type of map, or you know. So if you could choose your faction when you drop in, that would actually be really good on ladder. Although it would probably lead to
Yeah.
more
probably
mirrors.
mirror.
Yeah, it would. But
Just gotta implement faction veto on the software end.
yes. First in your dropship you get to ban a faction, and then you get to
You get a veto and,
you click on his dropship and say delete this one, and then you click on yours and pick Aeon. But yeah, it's kind of cool.
Oh, yeah.
Could definitely be used in tournaments, probably in a certain way, at least.
Yeah. So I just want to put that out there, because I know people talked about it. I was curious what your thoughts on it would be.
Alright, it's time to capture a factory.
Alright, F-Odin has finally reached T2. Nice.
Ah, excellent. Excellent.
Good rush.
I'm about a third of the way done on that thing.
Yeah, this lightning thing doesn't seem to be doing any damage. The Zeus was
I mean, it's a pillar.
it
Pillars
was
don't actually do that much damage.
well, it was doing 0. I mean,
Oh, okay, that's a problem.
yeah.
Oh, we dropped on the factory. GG, well played.
Oh, you landed on the factory.
Okay,
Oh my
this is what
God.
happens when you have a shitty 1K person being the balancer and the coder. But you know, with help from people like Odin and Felix and stuff.
So halfway on a nuke.
Yeah, the Zeus was just hitting. It looked like it was hitting the Tham, but it was doing no damage. So it worked in the previous game. Halfway in the nuke. Well, close game there.
Is it the actual nuke or the EMP nuke?
No, the Subcom nuke.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
All right.
As much as I really wanted a nuke. Unfortunately, it can just turn up.
How does the
Well, hey, you
EMP
won.
work?
F-Odin.
Yeah, you did.
Good job.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, how does the EMP work? It's like 1K, or what is that? 3K mass to build. But what does the EMP actually
It's based
do?
on it's balanced between. It looks like the loyalist EMP.
Right.
So it disables production, it disables unit movement, it disables some of those stuff I forget in the top of my head. But balance wise, it's actually something between a Billy and a regular nuke. It's closer to the Billy than anything else is how I've balanced it. At least in cost and stuff like that.
Okay.
I'm just going to have to pop off 10, 15.
Alright.
Okay. You want to Jagged, you want to destroy Swkoll and/or me while we're waiting?
Yeah, I'll play Swkoll.
Let's do it.
So if you but the mod's I'm uploading the version that will not have the commander bug right now.
Oh,
Or it shouldn't. The mechanic that is the thing that is causing that bug to happen is being taken out.
Alright, okay, I thought I had the right version.
Yeah, I literally just uploaded. I took out the movement code. That was because movement code is what I'm guessing was. If that's not what's causing it, I have literally no idea, and I'm just gonna say, okay, whatever. I'll have to. This is much more longer bug testing. I'll have to actually do to fix it.
Okay, I'm downloading the STA. Yeah, I just need the fix, right? SCTA fix. I already downloaded a.
You're gonna need balance. You're gonna need balance too because of the way the code actually.
Okay.
Oh, need upload balance. That's why. God damn it, game. This is why I want to Okay, fixed version is uploaded. Post version is on the vault now. I'm making my
Alright.
EOB fast. It should be 90. It should be 92 and 97. Technical difficulties.
Alright, I got them. Rehosting.
This is why I could just, I could be like Nomad or something. I could just upload featured mods. Like I can make a change to my GitHub, and the change happens.
Yeah.
So what faction should we play?
You guys can
Let's play-
decide. I
let's
would
play
like to wait for
TA
Timmy.
faction.
Yeah.
I would like to wait for Timmy to get here so we can actually talk about TA stuff when we're playing the TA factions. But, whatever.
I feel like
Well,
it's only really balanced for like TA versus TA, or
It
we're
is.
just too bad with the TA factions to compete against subcon factions.
Yeah.
oh, is that a Timmy fight?
Hello.
Oh,
Hello, Timmy.
Hello.
Timmy, guys, this is a TA pro like Postal. He actually was a subcom pro too back in the day. He helped once again beta test both FA and subcom vanilla, and with a playtester for Loki, who was made by Caldron, which apparently we all collectively forgot as a community.
Look, as
How's
long
it
as
going?
it's unknown in the vault, who knows who made it?
So what now?
Never mind. Nice to see you.
Nice to see
Loki.
you.
Alright, which faction are you gonna be, Swkoll?
I think I'll be Arm.
Alright. Pick core.
Oh, wait.
You need to turn the mods on, by the way, Jagged.
I'm
they
Yui.
disabled themselves. Alright,
They
another
all
reason.
disable themselves when you change versions.
Yeah. Yeah, apparently. I'm not usually playing with mods, so
Yeah, you should just start the game. You're gonna feed Swkoll points.
What was that?
Or Swkoll gonna
ranked?
feed you points.
alright,
No,
it's-
it'd be
I mean-
too short to count for rating points.
yeah. Alright, that's enabled.
Yeah, so we just want fix in this case, not balance.
Okay.
All right. So
It did
what's a
something-
TA?
genuine OT.
Oh, I get you.
Timmy, you explain.
Alright, say that again. Sorry,
You're playing fix but not balance, so not playing the amount that's meant to make SCTA play like subcom does.
Okay, so it's gonna be even more different. So I have.
Okay, so this is the one where the units are more balanced, like TA, right?
Yes.
Oh, right. So basically, spam flashes if you're armed.
All right.
Okay.
What's a flash?
Flash is the level 1 tank.
Okay.
And then, so really what you would do, and from a TA standpoint, on a map like the Cold Place, air first was actually, viable here. But really, most people would go vehicle first, and then, you would get your cons out, get your metal, build flashes, do some raiding, and eventually, kind of the more units you get, you start to transition that from flashes into Samsons, which are that missile truck.
Yeah.
And all the while building up your missile towers as, kind of holding territory or defense.
Alright, which faction am I supposed to be here, Swkoll?
I think your core.
Alright.
And so for core, same thing goes. It's just the instigator and slasher instead of flash.
Do I make a K-Bot factory or vehicle plant? First?
Vehicle.
Vehicle. Alright.
Oh, but you do in TA, and I'm assuming that it's going to be the same here. You have to drop a couple energy and metal before you drop your factory.
Okay. Let's do
A
that.
lot like a vanilla subcom.
Oh yeah, everything's a different size now in this balance.
Yeah. This is literally OTA in subcom.
Nice.
And I don't know how wind works in subcom, but this was a wind map in TA, but I don't know how that even works.
You're gonna
in
stall, Jagged.
SCTA.
Yes, I am stalling already.
You can't go vehicle factory first.
Well, I heard that.
Yeah, sorry,
Slightly after the.
Yeah, no, that's my bad. I didn't think about that till I was thinking about units without even thinking about fundamental differences.
That's all.
Hey, no one's stalling. No one's draining 300, right?
No.
Squall.
No, we're good.
I should
Okay.
make another mix.
Yeah, I was gonna say you should probably walk up and get that other mech, then drop the vehicle factory.
All right.
See, okay, that bug is temporarily fixed. Not in the way I like, but it's temporarily fixed. Yeah, so this is one of the big differences between OTA and Subcom, and specifically OTA and FA balance, is how different all the build orders are.
Yeah, like I said, and so in vanilla Subcom in the very early days, it was much more like TA, where you would usually drop 2 PGens and a mechs and then drop your factory.
Yeah.
And so this is a lot more like that. It was in FA that we went to kind of the faster, first stuff.
Yeah. This version of the mod was made by. Well, I mean, I maintain it, but the actual version of this mod was made by someone called Raven. And he was the guy. He was my immediate predecessor. Well, then it was maintained by Axel, who was the guy immediately before. He makes a client now for the TA community called TAF, actually, which is, if you look at the client, it's very similar to what you guys would recognize from FAF, the Java client.
Now, so this is the commander here has the TA style build power, right?
Yes. So
Yeah.
that's 300.
A lot.
Gotcha. Right. So that's where again, you do your thing. I should have mentioned before. That trying to drop your second factory on only 3 mexes probably isn't going to work well.
All right.
Typically in TA, you would keep your commander at home. He's a builder in TA primarily. So you would be guarding your factory, getting your con out faster, getting your units out faster to try to protect against, fast Jeffy rushes, get your stuff out fast to rush.
All right, what I'm noticing is there's the ratio of the reclaim on this map to the thing, how much things actually cost is way different compared to normal.
This is why I need TA. This is why a lot of Axel put in maps. I talked about this with Timmy yesterday, actually. In hindsight, I probably should have chosen an Axel put instead of this map. Because of the difference of raw costs of things, a lot of Subcom maps do not work for SCTA fix, as you now see.
Yeah, there's 27,000 mass on this map, but it's not enough.
Yeah, because you can look at the cost of things versus the other thing I want to show off.
I want to say in TA, this map also didn't have any reclaim that I recall.
Okay.
It may have had a little bit, but it wasn't. It certainly wasn't 27,000.
Yeah, it was not. This was probably a map not made by Axel. I'm gonna guess just looking at that, knowing that. So.
Yeah, it definitely was because it also was a OTA map that did not have any underwater mexes.
Okay. Why people make these maps? We could have gotten a good part of this from Axel.
But then again, I say that, and it's been a long time since I played the Cold Place.
Yeah, fair enough.
I mean, it works for Subcom, but
not OTA.
No.
Yes, and like Dragun said, he and I were looking at a bunch of the maps that were changed that were ported over. And there are some that I think would play really well in Subcom, and some just aren't. Just you could never have that same kind of play.
Yeah. And the guy I'm specifically referring to is he's Axel, who's the second guy who managed this mod after I did, before me. And when he was playing on FAF regularly, he actually ported a lot of OTA maps. And made them very. There are some issues with that, because they're literally OTA ports in Subcom, which means sometimes we get reclaim, which is makes sense in TA, but not in Subcom, and vice versa. And a very good example of this actually is Painted Desert, which is not an Axel port. And it dramatically changes how Painted Desert would play in original OTA. If you mind talking a bit about that, Timmy?
Yeah, so Painted Desert in TA is played. So I watched a stream. I want to say it was from a tournament. I want to say it was Nexus versus someone that was it was a YouTube game.
Mm-hmm.
And I noticed obviously it's left, first, right, and you have this like huge amount of rocks that are all at the base of the little mountains on Painted Desert. That is not how it is at TA at all. In TA, you start corners, and while there is a lot of rocks, the rocks are only about 50 to 75 metal a piece, and they are spread out kind of, so you have to spread out as you get your mexes and kind of reclaim rocks on the way. They aren't all clustered in one place. It is a much slower map that then ramps up into a big, huge TA style battle. But it starts out very slow, very few units, because it's very light on the metal at the start. Which I actually think would play really well in Subcom. It's just not, it would play well in FAF. It just isn't how the map is currently.
Yeah, so the PV there would be that PV in Subcom would have been a lab that just died.
Right.
All right, the Pee-wee is not a lab.
I know.
Yeah.
That's when the changes. I think what became labs. It's not actually a lab in TA because they didn't have really that distinction as much as we have it in Subcom.
Wow.
No, but it's a pretty reasonable. Yeah, but it's a pretty reasonable comparison.
Yeah.
Where they, just like I remember using hunters to great effect when I played Cyber, and I got a lot of flack for it because I favored them over Mantis. But it's because the metal to DPS was absurd. Like it was just they hit really hard even if they were light, and that's very similar to PVs.
Yeah. And when I did my rebalancing for the SCTA balance, I expanded that relationship a bit more. Versus Subcom.
He killed all my power. This is terrible.
I did the normal thing in Subcom on this map, and it kind of seems to have worked out.
Yeah, I think I'm dead. Actually.
I mean, the game's all they're all very similar games still in many ways. Not that different from each other. I mean, they all.
See, this is where I am, not a very honorable player. Where I would just degun as commander and take the draw.
I have no
So
power
that's
to
something you
degun.
can't. Yeah.
Well, fair enough.
Yeah, I did
Also,
kill all.
because,
We're good.
Yeah, I also the other thing I did. Why are you stalling 200? Is this the bug?
Because he killed he killed all my power. That's
But he has an air plant. He lost all his wind generators.
Oh, okay. So I do note the D-gun will no longer one-shot a commander even in the fixed version of this mod. Actually, no, it still will. It does technically 100,000 damage.
No, and I will say, winds are about a third of the cost of solars, and on this map, at least in TA, provided you more energy than solar. So, especially now, drop winds instead of solars.
Can I build naval pigeons? Tidal
Reclaim.
Titles.
Stuff.
What the hell?
TA.
Only air cons and commanders and the sea cons can build titles.
Were we asking about the reclaim in TA?
Yeah. Could you just instantly reclaim your opponent's factories with your stuff?
It probably takes. I think it takes actually about the exact same amount of time it takes to build it to reclaim it.
The reason for that is because of the relationship of this is where you get the weird build power relationships. That the thing that Axel tried to way Raven handled it was he basically made it whenever a TA unit tried to reclaim, he gave them a subtly long reclaim timer.
Okay, I like the bombers.
Yeah.
Wait, hold up.
So the bombers will one-shot mexes. They will one-shot winds. Depending on the open state of the solar, 1 or 2 passes to kill a solar. that air first can be devastating, but it also air cons have a lot lower build power, so you sacrifice your ability to expand by going air first.
But
All right,
you see,
back in the game, Dragon.
Huh?
Dragon's back in the game.
I found the bombers, so now I can
Yeah.
bomb everything. Holy shit. This is absurd.
Yeah, so this
You
is what,
cannot-
missile towers and Samsons are going to be Swkoll's best friend here.
just to note something here. Don't blame me for this. This is Waven's doing, not me. I think I barely touched the balanced version of this mod.
I will hold him responsible.
Yeah, I think you need a bit of a reload time on this bomber.
And
Oh,
Yeah,
also-
so that is actually a thing from TA where it had a very low reload time, and you could do what was called line bombing and just kind of continually drop bombs. But you did have to have kind of a more run up period. You couldn't just hover it over their base like drop. It would be
Yeah,
this is
yeah.
why I got rid of it. This is why I got rid of this mechanic imbalance. Just so you know, guys, because this is how Waven ported it, which is technically accurate.
Yeah,
but as you can see,
I've killed a lot of mass right now. 3.5.
Yeah, my entire base no longer exists. I mean, your base doesn't exist that much either, but
No, it doesn't. Not really.
but you have a bomber that can hypothetically kill all the flashes.
I
The
can
flashes shoot up.
I can ground fire.
so
I think they
Every-
can.
let's say in TA everything can fire up, but flashes don't hit bombers particularly well.
All right.
So in that case, I know what I talked to Waven about this. If something could not hit air effectively, he moved the interaction that let them do that. Even if they technically could try to, he just did that so not to enable it. I know notably example of this, but the example he mostly used was the frackers actually when I talked to him. With the unit he made sure it didn't have that functionality.
Time to
So
rebuild my
flackers,
base.
so you're talking about flackers not firing at ground, or
Yeah.
yeah. So flackers weren't supposed to be able to fire at ground in TA. It was a bug that if you guarded a unit that then got shot at, it would use its weapon to fire at the ground unit. But it did not auto target ground units in TA, and that's one of those things that I play a mod called VMod in TA. That's kind of basically our pro mod. And that's one of the things that is fixed. That is the intended mechanic in TA as well.
Have no mass now.
Well, I
Do you
have
know
no
that,
power.
like, metal maker that you can make on T1 NGs cost no mass to make.
So, by the way, this is also how air versus land often goes in TA, where you might do a lot of damage with your bomber, but also you're completely vulnerable to tanks, and your base just gets wrecked.
I see.
It's part of what makes going air first so risky. Is because you leave yourself open to, getting just demolished by flashes.
Let me just get rid of that factory. Thank you.
I wasn't using it.
No, you're
But yeah,
finding all my stuff. Stop.
So I have a question for you.
I'm just looking
Swkoll,
for it.
and
Every...
How do you feel about this version of the mod versus the regular version I had you guys play?
Well, this is way more fun because
This
it's
is
actually
great.
TA. This is
Yeah,
way,
this looks a lot more like TA than
this
what
is-
anything else I've seen.
Yeah, the other was just
Yeah,
like
that's, I mean, yeah.
was. Oh, there's something else killing me. Damn.
Yeah, get out of here.
What killed me?
As I said,
That laser tower is actually firing up and managed to kill the bomber.
Damn, I thought I killed the laser tower.
Well, maybe the commander was sitting there too, but the laser
Oh,
did
yeah.
do damage to it.
True.
Yeah.
Yeah, the commander must have done it.
That's what I say, Axel. Like, people want to play OTA and Subcom. This is what this version of the mod is for.
Oh, my wind. Leave my wind
Yep. So
alone.
with your engineers up there where your energy is, Jagged, drop some drop a couple. I say a couple. Drop 5, 6, 7 missile towers. You don't have the metal to really power all those factories you're dropping.
All right. Okay. I need.
You have factories plural.
Yeah. Apparently, I don't know how to play TA, so I have multiple towers. What do I need? Immolators? No.
Yeah, missile towers.
All right.
It's called the pulverizer, I think, for core.
Yeah. I remember your comp can't build it, so. That'll fix edition, balance edition. I
Polarizer.
mean,
Oh, pulver. Okay, the T2.
I mean hotkeys should work
Oh, is that in T2 now?
Oh yeah, they're super cheap. Why are they T2?
because this is Raven literally porting them OTA stats.
All right.
Because
'Cause
technically they're classified as level 2 units in TA, and so Raven made them level 2 in Subcom. Tech 2.
Missile towers in TA, like I said, were super cheap. They're about like 76 metal, I think. And they were your all-purpose defense. They shot at air, they shot at land, they had great range, but they were individually weak. They were ones that you really had to have a bunch of them to have big effect with.
Yeah. Okay, the answer to the question on Necronomicon, if a unit stat existed in OTA, and SCTA fixed, unless I had to make a code change to the unit to make it work like it needs to work in balance, has the same stats they have in OTA. So that's like, as most of the units are more or less unchanged, but there are some, like the Zeus technically has slightly higher DPS than he would have in Subcom, than in TA, because of some changes I had because of some way code interactions work.
And that's probably a good change, right? Because the advanced units in TA were not very useful. They were not mass effective compared to just building more level 1 units.
Yeah. That's also the kind of logic I made. So, like, yeah, technically, because most units have gotten those core changes that I had to make for SCTA balance, tend to be the advanced units.
Now, and I could have asked you this, Dragun, and I didn't. Does the pulverizer actually fire at ground in this? Okay. That is a popular change in a lot of TA mods, is that they make it AA only, which is part of the reason that people like me tend not to play those mods.
I don't like. I believe that would be tracking too much from the intent of this mod. Because the intent of this mod is to enable people to play a TA faction against Subcom and have a good game. And part of an air-to-air units, like pulverizer is shooting ground, I feel a core part of what the TA experience is. From what I've read, and what I feel. So no, I did not change it. The only unit that really, once again, anything that could technically shoot air or could technically shoot ground but couldn't really do it effectively, the Flacker, the Warrior, and a couple other ones got the interaction removed.
Yeah, I agree. Shenanigans. It is an all-around unit, but yeah, it's the reduced damage is. Yeah, I'm not going to go into too much about the mod differences, but it's just emblematic of someone who doesn't play high-level TA, and they look at TA a different way than I do, and that's perfectly fine. I have no interest in the big T3, T4 units because that's not TA. If I wanted that, I'd play Subcom.
Yeah.
Oh no, not again.
This is all I'm gonna
Same thing
do.
goes for you. Swkoll. Build some. They're called defenders, the missile towers, to help defend, and
The
also
one thing
Samsons.
All right, what can actually build that?
Your anything that's not your commander.
All
Yeah,
right.
you're the commander, but your regular engineers should be able to.
Yeah. Now the other thing, one thing I did change.
Are you sure, Dragun?
Hello, Odin.
Are they a T2 thing?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
The middle towers are technically T2 because they were level 2 in TA.
I mean, I guess maybe technically, but they were still built by the level 1 con.
Yeah. This was a Raven decision, not my decision. And I don't tend to mess with the BPs in SCTA fix that much, except when I need to do a bug fixing thing.
All right. This makes sense.
So just straight up D-gun that lab. Forget the I was saying
There we
forget
go.
the laser, just straight up D-gun.
Got him. Gonna go degun.
And I thought I was doing so well.
What should I make now? Advanced vehicle plant, maybe?
Really just spam more T1. Now's the point where you have metal, build a couple more factories, and just keep spamming
Oh, I died.
slashers.
He just degunned me. Classic. I kind of expected that.
You did walk into my base.
I did. I did.
That was There in TA there was something of a gentleman's agreement where you didn't do that kind of thing, but also because the commander is such a powerful builder, you're really incentivized to keep them home and build rather than rushing their base.
Yeah.
So Felix is actually not completely dying, guys. So he's offering if someone wants to 1v1 someone, maybe potentially later today, during this stream.
Mm.
Well, I think I've kind of got the TA need out of my system.
Okay. So.
Well, if you ever want to play more TA still exists as it was. If you want to, try the OG at any point.
Yeah.
Yeah, I actually have it on GOG.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm down to play another game.
Okay.
Of this.
Let's do Odin versus Felix out of the original attention, then we can just do some other games after that, okay?
Yeah.
And
sure.
Dragun, once again, is your map choice.
If Dragon wants to play, then I'm.
Oh, I get to choose. Let's see. I'll host something.
Alright, I'll head out. Thanks for putting this together, Dragun.
No problem.
Alright, see you, Swkoll.
Okay, so Felix
Alright.
will be here shortly.
I hosted.
So I guess to me, I meant to ask you now, what's your thoughts on SCTA fix, like without balance?
That was a lot more interesting to me than trying to balance it against the subcom factions. Because there are some stuff, again, I came back to TA, so a little background, like I played TA from about 99 to 2006 or so. And then, it was when the subcom beta started, I moved over to subcom, played subcom vanilla and FA for a couple years. And I kind of went back to TA for a little bit, but mostly didn't really play for the last 10 years. And so during pandemic, lockdown, all that thing, I came back to TA. And there are some things that I really miss from subcom. I'm Timmy Fred in TA. Necronomicon. So there are some things I really miss UI-wise. Like I don't miss the strategic zoom. It's actually one of the things I don't love about subcom. But I do miss a lot of the like dragging of orders and repeat on factories and that sort of thing that are just a lot nicer in subcom than they are in TA. And so seeing the SCTA fix, which is more like TA balance, but with a lot of those UI enhancements, that's a lot more interesting to me than the stuff that's really scaled to fit with the subcom factions.
Yeah. Fair. Also, Dragon, you only have fix on right now, right?
Oh, you want both of them on now?
Yeah, I mean, because Felix only played SCTA fix plus balance.
Alright.
Felix, you're probably gonna have to leave the lobby and rejoin so you download.
Oh yeah, you need the latest version. Is he...
He's 7.
Group dis-
Yeah, you could spam to 99, absolutely, Necronomicon, and that is a reasonable workaround. You can also, with the hook, you can queue 100 at a time. But that only helps you do that one unit. I remember in subcom, I used to do like 7 Mantis and 1 Scout and put that on repeat so that I always had Scouts with my group and always had Radar with my groups. There are times where, especially out of like an advanced factory, I would love to build, especially on a map like, say, CPIA, Core Prime Industrial Area. I would love to be able to build, Panthers and a flak and build like 5 Panthers and 1 flak and have those on repeat.
Okay, one sec, I have to rehost. It wouldn't let me enable a mod afterwards. So I rehosted.
Yeah, but I have to do that manually, Necronomicon. You're right, I can absolutely queue them in order, but then if I want to do a forever spam of 7-1. I have to do 7-1, 7-1, 7-1, and repeat that in number of times to get in groups of that pairing.
Yeah, the only thing SCTA Fix does not have that SCTA Balance does in terms of UI stuff is, I think, Jagger, you might have noticed that, is the idle factory icon does not show up.
Yeah, that wasn't. You could click. Well, there's like a thing, but there's no. You can click on it. It doesn't have an image.
I'm thinking of backputting that thing from SCTA Balance into Fix, but I've not done it yet. And awesome. I'm glad the SCTA Fix without balance is doing what it's intended to do.
Yeah. I would. Yeah. The bombers are brilliant. That's fantastic.
Yeah, the bombers are a little weird, and I'm sure that's just a mechanic of the Subcom engine.
Yeah, it is, because you can hover very easily.
Right,
Subcom,
like you can hover. Yeah, you can hover them in TA, but they won't just forever drop their bombs like that. Like they won't drop unless they have something of a run-up period.
Yeah.
And you can, once they start dropping, you can then do what's called line bombing, where you continually change your target and drop bombs in a continuous line on whatever path you want.
Mm.
So it's very similar in that regard.
I feel like I learned about the TA bombers very quickly in the 2v2 tourney. Going first bomber with a TA, and then it taking about half the map to turn. But once it got its bombs off, it was nice.
Yeah.
It's very satisfactory.
Yes, that you can blame Raven for that, or praise Raven for that. Actually, I think Raven did a great job of putting the TA bomber, except the issue you kind of saw in that game there.
Who's going to be who? Sorry.
I assume, Felix, you're going to be on Subcom? I assume Felix is on not. They say Subcom. I think Felix is going to be on TA. I'm saying right now. My meds are wearing off. I need to retake my dosage.
All right, 7 says he's armed.
In a second. Okay, cool.
Let's go Aeon. Why not?
Yeah.
And walk.
Nice.
So there's actually another map. Back to kind of thinking a bit about Loki earlier today. This is actually another map that our dear friend Timmy here actually helped playtest when they made the version of it.
We don't know if I helped playtest this one, but this was made by Tag Rock, who is founder of the Tag Clan, one of the biggest figures in terms of TA pro player community. That Rock has been around forever.
Yeah.
And Rock is still around. Rock is still playing TA, playing that mod I was talking about, kind of the pro mod, V mod in TA, helping balance test that. He's been playing since '98 or something like that.
And can you tell us what TAG stands for?
So TAG is the clan that was founded by Rock and stands for Total Annihilation Gods. I was actually a member of the TAG clan in Subcom as well, that back in the days of FA and all that kind of thing. When we did some clan wars, TAG was just like in TA. TAG was the dominant clan in the GPG net days. There are people who will argue that and say that Voices of War or some of the other ones were better. I disagree.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean TAG's still. Well, I haven't seen him now in a while on FAF, but he came back probably a couple of years ago.
Rock is what I call an RTS whore.
Yeah, he came back and he was got back to 2000 rating, I think, basically. So took him a little while to warm back up, but he's a really good player.
Yeah, so Rock plays everything. He was top level TA player. He was a top level FA Subcom player back in the day. He plays 0K, I know. In terms of TA, like I said, he's helping balance test VMod, which is made by another tag, Venom. He helps balance test and play test Escalation, I believe. He plays anything and everything, and he is just an RTS whore and just loves this kind of big, huge TA style RTS.
Yeah. And so that and one thing I've actually been fascinating for me about this has been I told it to me yesterday, but I always imagined that the subcom community was a continuation of the TA one, and it kind of surprised me when I came to FAF and really started coming Dragon FAF community back in February or so. I didn't notice that much overlap. The only overlap I didn't notice any overlap really between the two communities. And then I talked to Timmy only a few days ago, and he mentioned this all the stuff. I'm like, oh, okay, so I was not mistaken. It's just that over the years, the communities, probably drifted apart.
Yeah, back when it really started, like the first big Supreme Commander like fan site was actually Subcom Universe. You had TA Universe, which is still in existence, has long been the hub for TA. There's the TA Universe Discord still. The forum still exists, all that stuff. But there was also a Subcom Universe that was a sister site specifically for Supreme Commander. And we went to, me and another guy actually went to E3 in 2006, met Chris Taylor, Jeremy Abels, a lot of the GPG guys. I actually personally took the video in the booth of the first trailer from E3 2006 that was on YouTube.
Yeah, without asking you to tell us that story, and you preempted me.
So I mean, there used to be a lot of overlap, but as the years went on, people just kind of polarized into what they preferred and what they played.
Yeah.
And TA also had, TA has been around for a long time, but around, I don't know, probably somewhere 2008 to 2010, I think most of what I would term the good players kind of left, and so the competitive scene, which was already kind of dying, just really died out. And that's when you had the rise of, especially like escalation and mods really being played. Back when I played TA, really like the good players did not touch mods at all. We only played OTA. That changed probably 10 years ago.
Right.
And that was, like everyone kind of left, and then, it was what it was. But I think that those people leaving who were also, like, I left TA to go play Subcom, and then I just kind of left both. I think you ended up with, where the communities used to have a lot of overlap. You ended up with the people who were just diehard TA folks off doing their TA thing, and then FAF becoming what it is.
Yeah, I think now at this point, a lot of FAF players... So, I mean, there's plenty of them probably didn't even play FAF when it came out, or FA when it came out.
Yeah.
A lot of people maybe played for a bit. They're like, oh, I used to play this game 10 years ago or something. And now I didn't know that there was a community, all this kind of thing. But probably most of them have never played TA. That's for sure. I'd say the vast majority. Because it's a much older game.
I was amazed seeing how many folks were still on FAF. Because I joined FAF back when it started up. And there were still a lot of GPGnet names that would be on there, and I know like Zoc was still around for a long time.
Yeah.
But like, I rejoined recently, and I was like, I do not recognize a single name here from my GPGnet days.
Yeah, I mean, there's a few around, but
the one is Funkoff that I can think of.
Yeah, Funkoff came back. I mean, Zlo. I don't know how around he was in TA or in.
He was
GPG.
A little bit later. Like he was GPGnet, but he was like his rise, like good playerness happened. I think later. I think kind of after a lot of USA Cool 10. That's me.
How about Voodoo?
But happened a lot later. Voodoo, I remember the name.
He might have been a bit later
Odin,
as well.
You want to say something, by the way?
I guess
Odin?
not.
Hello.
I was wondering if you were going to say something.
Hello.
Oh, yeah, no, I've just been listening away, honestly. It's mad that, actually thinking about what your point, Jagged, that like most of the people that play FAF weren't there at the beginning. Like, I know I wasn't, but like, it's still mad even thinking about when I joined in 2014, 2015. Like, how many people there aren't. But there are. It's nice seeing them back for TMM, actually. Saw quite a few people.
Well, it's super interesting to me how both the subcom communities and the TA community were even inside that community divided into kind of two camps, where you had like the serious kind of pro players, and then you have the folks who really just, they like the big robots, they like the big battle, they're going to join their, at least back in my day, their 3v3 or 4v4 Setons, and that's all they play. They have no interest in the ladder. They have no interest in 1v1.
That's a gap now.
Yeah, and there's a lot of people like that in TA as well, that they want their big robots, their big battles, but they aren't so much down with the raiding and the attacking right from the word go.
Yeah. Well, I think it's the case in every RTS, really. Like, if it's Age of Empires, people are playing Black Forest, or they're playing Arabia. It's like, well, same story as on FAF. You're playing ladder, or you're playing dual gap, or some random team game, or settings, of course.
Oh, the goal is SCTA gameplay.
Yeah, or you're playing SCTA. Looks like, all right, laser tower. I want to see this. How good this Sentinel is.
So the Sentinel is that is the heavy laser tower that, at least in TA, I know this is the rebalanced one, was actually quite good in that, like, you surround that with DTs, and it takes a concentrated effort to take it out. It has good range, good DPS, but does cost more, and it also, at least in original TA, costs 75 energy per shot, which is not a huge deal most of the time, but can be if you build it too early.
It's 150 in balance. Otherwise, it's the same. The other change I made is that it's wallable by fortitudes now. So, mostly still the same like it was in OTA. I've actually not needed to change units that drastically. The biggest change, actually, honestly, has been how teching is upgraded. I mean, the resource obviously had to be adjusted. That goes without saying. In terms of like other stats, not that different. That shooting is the Geo. No, the shooting through the Geo Summel. That's hilarious.
Ah, it stopped shooting. The laser tower. Maybe he has no intel.
No, it's shooting through the Geo Summel. Look.
No, it stopped.
It's probably out of range, isn't it?
Is it out of range or not? Like.
Oh,
right.
This once again stream delay.
Yeah. No, it's in range. Yeah, it's just not shooting.
Is he energy stalling?
Oh yeah, you are energy stalling.
Oh, he's energy stalling. Ah, yes, of course. Saved.
Yeah. That's one of the things. Actually, I want to hope to talk about this a bit earlier, but energy stalling in TA is actually much different than it is in subcom. In that if you stall energy, you're stalling energy. It's an offensive damage reduction, not a defensive damage reduction. Because in subcom, what that means is
your shields, your radar will turn off, but in TA, your guns will stop firing. So it's quite a difference.
Yeah, but only lasers. Like your cannons will still fire, or at least your tank cannons will still fire. Your big Berthas won't, but for instance, your Guardians will.
Right.
Yeah. I did change it so artillery units in general and balance do take power too. For consistency reasons, I did that. But otherwise, it's still the same. Also, radar targeting also turns off. It's the other change. Not change, but you know what I mean. It's the other aspect in OTA too. So you won't target things that are blips, but you know what I mean. What I can speak.
No, I actually don't get the radar targeting thing in TA.
Timmy can explain that better than I can.
So in TA, there is no. So your units don't fire at things that come within range if they're only visible on radar, unless you build an advanced targeting facility, which is an advanced. It's an advanced building. It costs 1,250 energy per second to run.
Wow.
It it is a massive upgrade that you get only in the largest games. For you to radar target, you have to actually target via minimap to target things that are in range but only visible on radar.
All right.
It's one thing
Yeah,
that
so the command shoot all didn't do radar targeting, but it would make you fire at construction units, radars, mexes, etc. So shoot all did not fire. Shoot all did not make you fire at things on radar. Shoot all just made you fire at basically economy units that were not targeted by default.
Yeah. So one thing I did in balance is that the T2 radar facilities, T2 radar, T2 sonar also now grant radar targeting too, in addition to the T1, in addition to radar targeting itself. And radar targeting itself has actually been reworked to be something like Omni, in addition to radar targeting. Once again, this is the balance only change, not an SCTA fix. But yeah, losing that also means your offensive power is also reduced in TA versus Subcom.
What I can't remember in Subcom, if you do mexes require energy to run?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
The difference is energy, and the difference is shooting and radar targeting. So, the fact that Hydro is just like shielding that Legion is so funny to me.
Well, and shoot all shenanigans depends. Most players will turn shoot all on at the start of the game, but there are a lot of times that you would want to have it off, especially, for instance, when you go air first and you build a freedom fighter. You don't want, if you're fighting over his base, you don't want your freedom fighter auto-targeting his wings when you're trying to kill his bomber. Or you're trying to kill his fighter. But most of the time, you would just turn it on.
Note to self, PD is strong.
Yeah, they're pretty decent.
That was actually when I played Subcom in my clan. It got to be known as Timmy Fretting yourself when you would just walk into a PD with your commander and die.
It's a popular strategy. I've seen it many times.
Yeah, I feel like that is something that we need, is just a name for something
Yeah.
like that.
Yeah.
I was
Suicide
notorious
is good.
for having that. I would have 80% of the map and just be trying to take the one little spot with my commander. I would be in an unlosable position and walk into an expansion where there's 2 PDs and try to sit there and fight it and overcharge it and die.
Yeah. So Seven's not building any winds. I wonder, why is he making solars?
Because I think he thinks that I overnuffed winds when I last talked to him.
So how does wind work in Subcom? Does it are you able to do the variable per map the way that you do
No.
in TA, or
No.
I don't.
Well,
it's
maybe you could.
I mean, you can.
You'd have
set a
to-
variable in-
You'd have to actually remake all the maps or put some script into the maps, I guess, to
Yeah.
interact
Well,
with the...
I know a lot of Axel's OTA ported maps do have that code in it. But otherwise, the way my SCTA works with wind is it's a variable value between 15 and 35, and every few seconds it changes.
gotcha?
These blazes are crushing. Seven's
Not
only got
building his TD.
Seven's only got T1 stuff, it seems. Except for the PDs. The laser
This
towers.
is the strategy he did in the tournament. I think he's still doing. I've had to him about this, but he just basically thinks it's not worthwhile to go to T2 on TA because of the cost of the factories.
Hmm.
And in fact, I don't have it. It's not true. In fact, at the time when he last really played it, there was no NG mod equivalent. I didn't have, you didn't have the cheaper T2 advanced factories for vehicles for ARM. So.
Yeah. I mean, he was doing good. He was kind of ahead, but now it looks pretty bad.
Yeah, I mean, also think it's because of we have not done too much naval work, and until Felix mentioned this to me, I have no idea how to navy as TA. I mean, nominally TA Navy should be better than Subcom Navy in many ways, except for the fact that it's the Aeon Navy problem. What we would call the we would consider attack boat and a frigate for Aeon Navy is basically the same navy composition that TA factions have for their navy. The Skeeters and the Skimmers and then the Destroyers.
Well, the Skimmer is a hover unit. The Skeeters and Searchers.
That's thingy. If you actually could talk a bit about that gameplay from TA about Skeeters and Searchers' relationship to the two would be a frigate and Subcom, i.e. the Destroyers.
Yeah, so in TA, it was something of a game of when did you switch from building your scout ships, your Skeeters and Searchers, which were generally just referred to as Skeets. You would generally spam the shit out of Skeets. Like, you would build so many, because they were cheap. They were only like a little more than 100 metal, I think, 120 metal or something. And you would just spam them, and they were very good en masse. They had absolutely no anti-sub functionality, though. But Destroyers were much more expensive, like 800 metal. And an equal number of cost of metal of Skeeters will take out Destroyers until you get enough Destroyers. So it's something of a game of balance of, okay, I'm building Skeeters, I'm building Skeeters. When can I get up my first Destroyer? When can I kind of switch into Destroyers to get that advantage on the sea?
Yeah, because I built a naval factory in that last game, and I started building Destroyers. Because I was like,
that's one where you would definitely build Skeeters.
Yeah, I was like, this is the frigate, I guess. And then it was like 800 mass, so wrong unit. So many PDs.
They also had depth charges that could actually fire against subs, which Skeeters couldn't do at all.
Yeah.
Did he? We still don't see a T2 energy from Felix, do we?
No. He's just full T1 and he's got the T2 PDs. That's what he's going for.
Yeah.
Just spamming those K-bots.
But you knocked out everything around his combo.
Yeah, but he's not gonna do much against
the
com.
Yeah, it's the subcom com that you can't take down very easily.
No.
Double has shield. Do you have double gun 2 Odin or just shield? I can't tell.
Yeah, he's got double gun and first shield.
Gun and sensors.
Oh, sensor, yeah, sorry. Not double gun.
That was actually on my GPGnet profile. I had a quote from a player where he, after I beat him, private messaged me. He was like, building 20 minutes and surrounding commander so noob. Like, I mean, don't let it happen to you. I don't know what to tell you. It was on Beta Passage where I went and asked Mantis the way you do and surrounded his comm and killed him, and he was very upset about that.
Damn, imagine spamming T1 units on Theta Passage.
What is this madness?
Yeah, why would I do that?
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, it looks like 7 is doomed. He said it's not an SCTA map. Give us some excuses.
Oh, yeah.
Too many mexes, etc. in water. What does he mean?
You have to have... You need air cons to build them, remember?
He needs
Which
air...
is a change for PA as well.
He needs an air con, did you say?
Well, because I disabled... that's because I disabled the C cons. And this made part of the air cons in the C factory. And I just combined the C tech line with the air tech line.
Yeah, in TA it was, hovers could build underwater mexes, commanders could, but primarily it would be ships that would build underwater mexes.
I mean, yeah, to be clear, hovers and commanders still can build underwater nexus, just so we're clear on that. I just meant in terms of like your generic T1 land entity cannot.
Right.
That's what I'm trying to say.
Yeah, generic T1 land entity can't, and like I said, in TA, aircons can't, which actually was something I was thinking about here recently. Like I said, playing a kind of balance mod in TA, it's always been kind of weird to me that air can't build any of the sea resources.
Yeah.
But changing that now in TA would be, why would you do that? Like, it's been that way for 23 years.
I did think I wanted to condense the fact that we had so many. I wanted to condense the NG tech lines to be slightly simpler.
Oh no, I think it makes perfect sense in SCTA. So I'm not like, why would a mod in TA do that?
Yeah. Fair. So that's why that. I know people have gotten on me for condensing the tech lines like I have. I think it's correct though. I don't. I get why people wanted me to keep the vehicle air, sea, and air. You know what I mean. The four separate tech lines, but I feel like just condensing them down to 2 works well enough.
Yeah, well, I mean, you gotta make changes if you want to have it balanced against Supreme Commander factions.
Yeah. Condensing the tech line not necessarily a balance change, is more of a quality of life change more than anything.
Shenanigans, yes. The Annihilator had the much stronger laser, but it only had the 1 laser. The Doomsday machine did have a blue laser, but it was not as powerful as the Annihilators.
Yeah. And that is still true in this mod. I have not changed that.
Well, the frigate's dying gradually.
I don't think the Annihilator had radar in OTA. That might be an escalation thing.
I know Raven quoted it as having radar, so take that for what that is.
And maybe it does, because we never built them in OTA, and you always are going to have an advanced radar anyway, so I've never even so much noticed that.
The funniest thing is the T2 airplant, the T1 airplant and T2 airplanes have radar, which is hilarious to me. Yes, eventually my those entities will kill that frigate.
Almost there.
It just might take a while.
Alright, they got him. Yeah, I wonder how... Oh, a bit of a raid there. Some K-bots got through. I'm just wondering when F-Odin is gonna end the game, basically. Because he has so many harbs. And the commander, and all he's up against is T1 units. So...
I'm just curious why they did not at least try to progress the T2 on anything. I mean, T2 does exist for stuff for TA, and they do have they nominally have a T3.
Yeah, it does. But like in an OTA, T2 was like the units were very situational, and there were only a couple that were actually, kind of useful.
Yeah.
You mostly went advanced for fusions, Moho metal makers, advanced radar, Big Berthas, nukes, that kind of thing, like for the structures, not so much for the units.
All right, okay.
Now that is true for the advanced land. Advanced air was very useful.
Right.
Hawks
okay.
and Vandals, please.
Yeah, Hawks were kind of your de facto game ender unit, but also the advanced bombers were a lot better.
Yeah.
I heard Postal talk about it earlier, where gunships were not super widely used, but were situationally useful.
I treated Hawks and Vamps and the T2 bombers as being T2.5, like ASFs and strategic bombers. Is how I've worked with them.
These bots are making very little progress. I mean, the Harv is like the best possible unit for this scenario. Because it does 150 damage per shot, so just 2 shots every single unit, and they're all gone now. That's it. They're all dead, and every Harp has about 1,000 mass killed or more. So, GG.
Well, I mean, this is a good game. This is actually a game that I think showed off SCTA very well. You know, the higher tech stuff. At least it showed off actual SCTA.
But yeah, but it's one of those things where if you wanted to try to make the T2 stuff more useful on the TA factions, that is kind of the primary focus of what VMod does, Dragun. What Venom works on and what I've been playing is just making those units that were not useful in TA useful in TA. And so you could get some ideas for how to make them useful in SCTA in a similar way.
Yeah, I mean that sounds pretty good. I was looking at the T2 units. Aren't they just like they're not even more expensive, are they? Or are they in this particular mod?
So I would say in this one I don't know. In TA they are definitely more expensive, which is why you wouldn't build them.
Right.
Because they were only marginally more effective and less effective metal for metal.
Yeah. I mean, in this version of the mod, is they basically I've looked at the TA subcom equivalent units or closest ones, and I have basically taken stats similar and made them that. For example, the Zeus is a the Zeus I think is a mongoose right now, or the Zeus is the pillar. The Fido is a mongoose.
Oh, the mongoose. There was about a 2-week period where they were unbelievably, ungodly broken when they first introduced the mongoose.
Yeah.
They released the mongoose, the mercy, and I can't remember what
Hoplite.
Cybern got.
Hoplite?
Hoplites.
Or
Those hoplites, yeah. Yeah, those hoplites that were introduced all at the same time, and they did it while we were working on the FA balance when we were in closed beta for FA.
Mm.
So they didn't have us do any playtesting on those units, and they brought them out, and mercies were just comm sniping, like could not be stopped. You build mercies, you win the game.
yeah.
Mongoose had such insane range and such good DPS. You built Mongoose, you won the game.
So if you're down for one
Hoplites kind of suck.
on a more open map,
Sorry.
if you want to
missed
do one more game on a more openish map,
Yeah, sure.
open palm sound good to you guys?
Yeah, that works.
Yeah. Do you want me to host?
Open Palms is actually one that I think would play pretty well in TA. I've been making some maps lately, and Open Palms is one that I should probably consider doing in TA.
So I mean, that's the stream mod. How do you guys all like the mod so far? I put a lot of good work into it, and I've asked a lot of people from both TA community, both TA community and Subcom community to help me out on stuff so far. Some things obviously need to be worked on. I probably need to look at look at the water game a bit more actually.
Yeah, I mean it's quite cool mod.
Yeah.
I like the I like the just the fix actually. Just for
Thank you.
Seeing what TA is actually like.
Yeah, and that's why I maintain it still. Because it's the whole point of so as I was telling Timmy earlier last night, part of the reason I made this, I make and maintain this mod, is not necessarily to have it to play it. It's going to sound very weird, I know, but because he said a lot of subcom players never played TA, don't really know about it, and what I would like to do with this mod is kind of introduce players to where our game came from, like what the origins of what subcom is, what origins of FAF, of how we got to where we got to today. Fix is meant to be a way for, if you've never played TA, balance is meant to be a way, if you've never played TA before, you've only played subcom, a way to introduce you to the TA factions without overwhelming you by keeping things relatively the same. Where if you know what something does in subcom, you can build up that unit in TA and SCTA factions, so you won't get too screwed. SCTA fix is meant to be once you've crossed that bridge, you can play SCTA fix now and kind of know what is what. And then ultimately, I would like people who get to that point and are interested in OTA to go to something like TA Universe and talk to people like Timmy and Postal we had earlier, who actually are part of that community now. If that makes sense.
Yeah, for sure.
But also why I always tell people I'm not. What happened? Oh,
I
they
think
built on reclaim.
Seven just built his factory on some reclaim, so his AC walked for about 30 seconds
It's in peace.
before building the factory.
Yeah. And that's why I always will tell people who ask me this question, like I'm not interested in making SCTA truly competitively balanced. For a variety of reasons. Like for one, I don't think it's possible. I just SCTA balance and SCTA fix will never be truly competitively balanced against subcom. Factions are just too different on a core level. I feel like I think you guys seen that in this game.
I don't think it's worth the effort. Like, it's possible, but it would be a lot of work and probably not worth it.
I am
you just
one
need to get
I am one.
approximate.
Yeah. And I think if I did do that, I'd have to lose a lot of what makes TA. And SCTA balance already kind of does that.
Yeah, it feels like subcom factions, basically.
Yeah, and to some extent that's kind of the goal of balance. But if I go too far away, I feel that'll be even.
Yeah,
that'll make it even worse.
Yeah.
So I mean, there's one member of this community that some of you guys whose name you will know, have been trying to push me to do exactly that. He says, "Oh, you should add shields to this mod or whatever."
Hmm.
And I keep telling him, "No, I'm not adding shields. I've added TMD. I've added a single experimental for ARM, but I'm not going to add much more. I've disabled some. I've condensed the NG lines down to 2 NG lines for TA, but I'm not planning on doing any more than that." So, one thing to note, Shenanigan, is that's not actually true. TA does actually have 4 tech levels. Contrary to popular belief. So a tech 1, or what in TA would be called level 1, were anything that was built by a commander. Level 2 was anything that was built by a constructor, but wasn't built by a commander. Level 3, and then level 3 is stuff that can be built by an advanced constructor, but cannot be built by a T1 constructor. So on and so forth. T1, then T1 mobile units, or T1 stuff that can be built in the plants, but not in the advanced. And then if for the advanced, same thing, level 2 stuff that can be built by advanced, not be built by the level 1 factories. And then level 3 is stuff that actually be built by in the platforms, hovercraft and seaplanes. If you look in the actual mechanics, this is how they're labeled. And then the Kogos is obviously Tech 4, and gantries are Tech 4 too. So, contrary to popular belief, Subcom does in fact have. TA does in fact have 4 tech levels like Subcom does. They're just not labeled the same as they are in TA. I mean, Subcom, I mean.
Yeah, and Shenanigans, that's one of those things where I've also heard it described as the commander being, anything the commander can build being described as tier 0 or level 0, and then level 1 being, your level 1 cons, level 2 cons, etc.
Yeah.
So it'd still be 0 to 3. There'd still be 4 levels, but I've heard it described as 0 to that, or as Dragun said, T1. It gets confusing doing that, where we tend to just refer to stuff as kind of level 1 or advanced.
That is one thing in FA that's sort of kind of strange, but it's obviously just like some kind of the last holdover from TA is like the ACU can't build a few T1 buildings, but like it can't.
So I want to get not the same buildings. They click. Oh, you finished, Jagged. I'll add.
like it can't build, what is it? Energy storage.
Radar.
Can't build radar. Can't build hydrocarbon. Can't build mass storage.
Yep.
So.
And what's really interesting is that the different with what the commander can't build in subcom, in TA. I mean, because the TA commander. What I can speak. The TA commanders can build radar, but they cannot build Dragon's Tooth, or what we would call walls.
Right.
Right. They can build the light laser towers, but they can't build the heavy laser towers.
Yeah.
They cannot build the missile towers for AA.
Yeah.
So as one of those things in TA, one of the first things you would do on almost any map is just go ahead and either build a Samson for anti-air and anti-Jeffy, or drop a missile tower as soon as you build your first con.
So, another holdover. Actually, another interesting lore holdover too. The concept of the assassination victory condition is actually very much inherited from the TA lore. Because in TA lore, in the campaign more specifically, you are the last of the commanders. So if you die, your faction is dead.
Right.
Which is where the assassination comes from.
Oh, is that controversial now on FAF that you play on communes?
No, it's always
No, it's not.
assassination.
I was gonna say, like, that's how it's always been. I thought he said it was the controversial. I was like, what? That's controversial.
It's full share stuff.
Oh yeah, well there's full share, so it's like if you die in a team game, like on Settings is always played full share, so if you die, all your stuff goes to your team, basically.
Oh, without you having to manually do it?
Yeah.
Gotcha.
You die and
Yeah,
then
in TA,
somebody inherits your stuff.
in TA, that was the thing you would do too. Like, your commander's going to die, you would make sure you shared it, but you have to manually do it. And it was something of a game of like, okay, I'm going to degun him. I'm going to go ahead and share and degun him before he can share, and then my team has the advantage because I won't share and they won't have it.
Well,
Venom actually did that to me last week.
Well, in FA, if you don't have full share enabled, then anything you've given to somebody else explodes when you die, so you can't actually give stuff away. So
that was a change then in FAF, because I remember doing that in Subcom. Like, I remember manually sharing it and having to do that because that was kind of how we played 2v2. Friend of mine was a very turtly bitch and just a builder, and I hated playing against him. I saw Dragun that he and I played a Theta game that went about an hour and a half long and ended when he finally overran me with a Galactic Colossus.
That's still hilarious. I mean, that happened on Shada.
Because I had gotten up a Monkey Lord, but I couldn't do anything against the GC.
That was also funny to me, to be clear. Like, that fact that you guys got experimental on that map.
Yeah, it was because of we had such a clash in style. We had a Roanoke game that went similar, that was a couple hours long. He built at least a half dozen GCs and Subcom vanilla. And it was just, we agreed to stop playing each other after that point. But he was my 2v2 partner, so I would go hyper aggressive and usually end up dying and sharing, but have crippled them enough. Like, I basically played 2v1 for the first 10 minutes and do enough damage and die while sharing my stuff, and he just got big and then could roll over.
So, right. So the Solars, right? They're just... Wow, actually 7 is stalling heavily on power. But it seems like the Solars are... I don't know, I'm trying to work out if the TA factions just have a better economy than the opponent, than the Subcom factions.
They do.
They do.
They do.
Right.
Yes. But their units, especially in the later game, tend to be slightly worse. So they have better eco, but not as good units.
Yeah. Actually, maybe the geothermal is not as good as the hydro. Pretty sure. 260 miles.
The main difference between the PGen differences is how high balance the starting storage is. High balance around the starting storages is the main thing.
Yeah.
Is the main difference between those. Otherwise, in general, like you look at the mechs is all a bit cheaper. The T2 mechs is all basically a winged T2 mechs.
Oh yeah, the T2 Maxes seem they're super good.
Oh
like
yeah,
they're way better
Yeah,
than regular T2 Maxes.
that's intentional. That's supposed to be, but once again, they have a TA classic issue of they have less HP than the subcom equivalents do, generally speaking.
They have a bit less, yeah.
Yeah, I don't think it's as bad as it used to be.
I think he should be spamming T2 Maxes. I think he kind of was in the last game, though, to be fair.
What's its energy going to?
I think he just didn't build much. He doesn't have any pigeons.
Okay.
So.
Okay, can you go into that? Can you go to that weight off for me real quick? Just T2 weight off.
Oh. Yeah, minus 150 off.
Is it off though?
No, it still shows up as draining 150. If it was actually off, it wouldn't show minus 150 there.
Okay, so
Or
it's
it
not
shouldn't.
so is it?
Yeah, showing minus 150.
It has the pause button symbol, but it's definitely
Is it working
draining.
still?
It's definitely draining.
Can you ask them?
Yeah, it's on. It's on.
Okay. Because
Yeah.
Oh, was it shot at a second ago?
I don't think so.
Why is it?
He said he paused radar, but pausing radar never has turned it off though. That's not how you turn off radar.
Oh
So-
yeah, you're not pausing. That's why it's not. He's pausing it. He's not turning it off.
Yeah. Pausing just stops it upgrading or something. Now it's
Yeah.
off. Now it's off. Okay, he's listening. Yeah, now it's off.
Are those
for
all
sure.
warriors there?
I think you should turn it back on. Yes, these are all warriors. Full warrior spam.
You need to click on the toggle button.
He has a lot of mass. Yeah, no, it's
Yeah,
off
there it
now.
goes. Okay.
You should turn it
Okay.
back on, I think. To be honest. That was excellent intel he had. And he has enough energy now. Yeah, so he's still just going, full T1 stuff. Here's pause. No max upgrades. I would be abusing those max upgrades. Plus 10 mass. That's crazy.
Yeah, its TA advantage is it's one of the TA advantages is mexes.
Yeah, for sure.
Pretty honest question, Jagged. As from a balance counselor, how you think of my terrible balancing?
It's hard to say how balanced it is, because all 7's doing is making T1, so it's like, well, the T1, it looks like a pretty good T1 unit. But
I mean, it's based on the. It's
that's
based
all
on
I'm
the,
seeing.
Bleeding
Really.
off Mantis. Yeah.
So definitely the T1 units are pretty good, but I'm not really getting to see the other units. Like having super good T2 mexes seems probably overpowered, but yeah, if you don't have units that can actually be effective, then yeah, it doesn't really matter
I mean, you
how
have
good your
pillars, but you
economy
don't
is.
have shields. You have pillars, but you don't have shields for said pillars, which is what makes pillars good. At least to my understanding, anyways. Correct me if I'm wrong.
No, pillars are just good. Shields or no. It's the mongoose that really need the
So-
shields.
Yeah, I mean they have mongoose too, which is the Fido.
Yeah,
but
but
again,
is
no
it
shield.
is it as good as the mongoose? I don't know. Or is it as good as pillar? I don't know either. Judging by how
it's
he's
kinda-
not building them, probably not. Because otherwise he'd go straight for them, or at least
Yeah.
pretty quick. But now F-Odin has T2. F-Odin's just quite far ahead now. He's doing a little bit of aircon usage on the sides. He should probably use the aircons a bit more. Because I mean, you know, it's just something you can abuse. You don't have that. You can't get to those places with engineers as quickly unless you're a TA faction, you know. So he's not really abusing some of the TA features that he could be, I guess.
I've reworked significantly T2, so it's like to try to make it better multiple times, and I'm hoping we already see some of it in these games. Saw a bit of it with Swkoll earlier today, though. And the Zeus perform much better than it used to be able to, so it makes me happy.
I'm also not seeing any D-gunning.
Oh yeah, oh.
Very sad. Actually, F-Odin is a little bit exposed here. I think 7 should probably start moving in, or keep moving in. Because F-Odin doesn't have much in that area. His commander's a bit exposed. Oh, a load of bombers killing power in the base now. Oh yeah, he actually started building some winds, and they get one shot by bombers, so and all these soldiers are built in a line, and they're gonna die very quickly as well.
They take 2 passes, is how last I checked. Not that it matters in this particular scenario.
Yeah, and so, yeah, F-Odin's just getting surrounded, but there's not enough units. Oh, also T2PD has gone up, so that and the Mongoose and the ACU. I think 7's about to die. Yeah, GG. He has nothing.
Does he have all the gun on?
I don't. He has no energy left. I think all of his energy was getting bombed at that moment.
Rest in peace.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Another win for Forge Alliance. Yeah, I think definitely, if anything, the TA units are probably. Well, I don't know. I mean, F-Odin's a better 1v1 player, maybe, probably.
Yeah, I think it feels like that TA one. If they go T2 for TA, there's nothing
that useful.
Like yeah, I could just go T3 and it's as counted as seen in the first game versus Swkoll.
I mean, Swkoll really did not go TA's T3, which
great, yeah.
I do want to. I don't see anyone use the T3 units that technically exist for TA. Really. And I'm interested in seeing how they play.
What you're calling the T3 is what we would call advanced units?
The hover, basically.
Oh, okay, I got you.
Hover and certain other units that have hovers, the Audis, the Maverick.
Yeah, so what we would call the advanced units, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, the hovers aren't advanced, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, they're all like Zeus, Fido. Those things are all still T2. The certain units I moved to the
moved to the subcom T3. I got you.
Yeah. Partly because interface build, I don't want to have like 10 units on a single page.
No, it makes good sense. And like the Maverick is one that Maverick is one of the few useful advanced units in OTA. It is it hits like a sledgehammer, and just it is fantastic. It makes sense as a subcom T3.
Yeah, specifically I based its stats, its SCTA balance stats on the Titan.
On the what, Titan?
Titan.
Right, okay. That should be a good unit then.
Yeah.
Titan's pretty good right now.
So I'll be right back. I'm gonna get my medicine real quick. Right back, guys.
Okay. Right, well, I was going to end the stream there. That was about 3 hours of TA.
So, Timmy, if you don't mind, Dragun, we can do this just for the final game of today.
Oh,
I want to see the jacket.
yeah, I was just saying I was gonna end the stream there. Or
Rest in peace.
head
I was
off.
going to say Timmy and Jagged should play SCTA fix, but not balance against each other.
Well, I'm down to
Well,
play.
I mean, if he's, like I say, if he was going to end stream, I get that, but I can play it. I think I have FA set up properly.
Yeah, and if someone else wants to stream, I can send people over there.
Yeah. Because I would love to. I would actually love to see that. What is the closest equivalent we can get to SCTA OTA in subcom versus an actual OTA player versus a subcom player?
Yeah, that is cool. F-Odin, do you want to stream or one of you guys?
I was gonna say if Swkoll's still about, get a Swkoll stream, but I think I could stream, yeah, just a quick one. But
Yeah, sure.
hand up.
What's your stream name? Are you on Twitch?
Yeah, should be live now. It feels like forever since I've actually had a Twitch stream.
Yeah, hopefully I'm hoping that Timmy will have the advantage here, guys. Hoping.
I think so.
I mean, we'll see.
After playing the fixed version, I can't see you actually online.
I mean, the fixed one is the one that's fairly faithful, and units do
Yeah,
kind of what
yeah.
I expect, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, more or less. Once again, besides some stuff that I've had to change for how SCTA balance, like engine stuff.
Can you send me a link to that stream? I can't
You
see
know
it.
why? It's because I'm on the wrong game.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yeah, I was thinking I had to open it. I couldn't see in Forge Alliance.
I'm just launching a game real quick, make sure I have my settings set up properly.
All right, that should be better.
Okay.
No, I can't see you at the moment.
If not, can I post it into your YouTube? Yeah, I can. Although it's not linked.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, what the hell? It's not blocking links anymore. What's going on? Right, I posted it again. Yeah, so go over, check out F-Odin's stream. He's gonna play against Timothy.
Yeah, Timmy's fine. Next time, Timmy Fred in game.
Yeah, Timmy, and they're gonna play what is basically Total Annihilation in Spring Commander.
Yeah.
So,
Some big differences for you, Timmy, will be there are two types of anti-air damage. The inties, anything that was not mainly used also hit ground and air have a about 10% only do about 10-15% damage versus ground. But otherwise, the second type of anti-air, SAM air, Hawks, Vamps, Missile Towers, Samsons, Crashes have it, and that does 50% damage reduction.
Okay, so missile towers are not as effective as they.
Yeah. Yeah, but I buffed them from when Postal played, so they actually can do damage now.
thanks a lot, guys. I'll talk to you later.
Cheers, Jagged.
See ya.
And again, Jagged, thank you for doing this. I appreciate.
No, it's all good. You're welcome.
Yeah.
Thanks for making the mod.
And did you all enjoy yourself? Oh, no problem. I try.
All right. See you guys.
In a bit.
All right. That's it from us. I'm gonna turn off the stream. See y'all soon for the next stream. We'll be playing FA probably. And go check out Foden's stream to see some Total Annihilation gameplay in Forge Alliance. But, you know, like the game we played where it's very like TA. So it should be interesting. Foden's gonna play against a TA player, so I fully expect him to get crushed. Alright. See you next time, guys.